it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he did curl.
Well, we got to not kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4 foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a Gold Line.
it's a Gold Line.
it's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Welcome back inside the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario, the WFG Masters. Brent Lang here, joined by Chelsea Carey. We've got 4 sheets of women's action brought to you by Home Team Live. Our feature game tonight is Team Constantini versus Team Inglis. Both 0 for so far, Chelsea, and looking for somebody's going to win this game. Somebody's going to get on the board and stay alive. 2-2 is, depending on shootout and a whole bunch of other things, 2-2 is usually in the action. Sometimes you get kicked out based on shootout, but I tell you, 1-3 is almost, I don't think it's ever been in the action, so can't afford to go to that third loss. And we did, I did a game earlier. Was it with you, Chelsea? We did Danielle first game, right?
Yes, first game, yeah, we did.
They had chances, too, against Tirinzoni and played a pretty good game. So, and then also, I believe, was it Laws that they had on the go, too? They've been in both games very close and could have won either one. I think it was actually Hasselberg.
I think it was Hasselberg, too.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually. But, yeah, a solid team from Ontario. They've got some family and friends out watching, so want to put a win on the board and make tomorrow's game exciting. So what do you expect from these two teams, Chelsea? Do you know them very well?
I don't know them terribly well. Stefania Constantini, typically not afraid to mix it up because she's generally such a good drawer that she can bail out with a draw shot at the end. But I haven't really gotten a chance to watch either of their games this week because I've been doing other games on the draws, but obviously not quite at their best this week. For Danielle, maybe a little bit more conservative, I would think, but she's not afraid either. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a little bit more of a slower start, not going crazy right away, but I don't think at this point it'll take either team long to get comfortable and start to mix it up.
Nice. That's enough about the curling. How about the All-Star game going to Nashville?
Yeah.
What do we think about that, Chelsea?
I think it's awesome. I've never been to Nashville, so I'm jealous, but it sounds like it's going to be so much fun. So it should be a great event. Such a cool concept, doing something a little bit different and mixing the teams and players up and everything. I think it'll be just a blast to watch, and I imagine even more fun if you were actually in Nashville.
I think anybody that goes to Nashville says it's kind of the best place on earth to have a good time.
I've yet to hear a bad review, so.
I have not been there either, and I know a little bit about what's going on. There's going to be six men and 6 women. You can vote online. It's all through the curling group, Grand Slam of Curling. It's all over social media today, Instagram and X, probably Facebook too, but I don't really use Facebook, so can't really help you there. But you get to vote. So I believe there's going to be a panel, which I think I was tapped on the shoulder to be a part of today. That's a lot of pressure. It used to be called an expert panel, and then they invited me. So it's
the name.
Now just a panel.
Yeah.
But we're going to choose 8 and then vote on the final 4. So you can vote once a day for your favorite lead, second, third, and skip on the women's side and on the men's side. And you can do that for the next pretty much 2 months. So a bit of a popularity contest.
Definitely.
Let's see who gets the most creative.
Yeah, yeah, you'll probably see some people get pretty creative, I would think.
Maybe even buy some votes? What do we think about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right?
I would buy some votes if it was going to get me to Nashville.
Yeah, seriously, right? And then when we get there, there's going to be a skills competition, like some sort of hot shots. There's going to be a pro-am with celebrities, like real celebrities, not just curlers. And there's also going to be some sort of mixed 2-team game with extras on the bench and maybe somebody like making on-the-fly changes. I don't know if we're going to look if a sweeper's halfway down, he gets tired, maybe we'll do like a hockey change. Yeah. I think we should try that. I just thought of that. I think that's perfect.
I like it.
Yeah, let's make that happen. But I can promise you a couple things. It will be all over social media. It'll be streamed, and it will be a ton of fun. So if you haven't been to Nashville, you're a curling fan, and you want an excuse, there it is.
It's a perfect excuse.
Right? We've got 4 sheets of action, as always. Home Team Live bringing you all 4. One of them is on Sportsnet as well. That is the marquee matchup tonight. Team Hasselberg versus Team Tirinzoni. No strangers to each other. Both undefeated at 2-0. So one of them will punch their ticket into the playoffs, and one of them will be looking for that third and ever-important third win tomorrow to get straight into the playoffs. And not only that, if you finish top 3 this week in the round robin, you get to pick your playoff opponent in the first round, for better or for worse. Do you think that's for better or for worse, Chelsea?
I mean, it's we'll find out. I suppose it's a toss-up, but yeah, it's a neat concept. It should be fun. I think that's happening right up here in our booth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll have the Friday night, what's becoming a tradition, the curling couch. I believe CEO, visionary, Nick Sulsky is going to join us up here. John Cullen and myself will be here tomorrow night. I believe probably Tyler and Chelsea will be here too. I think we're going to do 2 different games, one from the couch and one straight up, and maybe we can kind of switch in and out. But after that, the top 3 men's and top 3 ladies teams represented by 1 player, whomever they want to send up. I'm going to guess it's going to be Skips because it's curling and that's how we roll. But they'll come up and they will get to pick their opponents. The 4th ranked team won't have to come up because they'll get whoever's left. But yeah, so that's how the playoff bracket's going to be decided. Kind of cool. We're going to try and get them to trash talk. They won't, so we'll do it for them. I think that's the plan.
Hopefully they will, but yeah, I don't love your chances on that one.
Depends who.
It depends who it is. Brad
we
Jacobs
should be able
will.
to pick. Like, okay, yeah, so, whoever the top 3 are, it's like, okay, I want her or I want him because they're most likely to make an ass or at least be a little bit offside.
Yeah.
But we shall see who ends up in the top. I mean, would have thought Gusha would have had a chance, but he's in the D division now. He's lost 3, playing tomorrow for $4,000 and a little bit of pride. Mowat lost today on the men's side. The women's side, you have the top teams at the top. So lots still to be decided, though, Chelsea, and I look forward to tonight's game and to see who can keep themselves alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, huge game for both these teams. Win or you don't quite go home yet, but win or head home tomorrow after your game. So should be a good battle.
If you are in Guelph, I know online it did say for a short moment in time that the tickets were sold out for the weekend on Ticketmaster. That is a bold-faced lie. It is not sold out. So head and grab some tickets. There still are some game tickets for the rest of the week. We're getting down to it. Playoffs will start not today. We've got some more action tomorrow. Playoffs will start on Saturday, quarterfinals. Men's and ladies, and then semifinals Saturday night, men's and ladies together. And then the finals are on Sunday with the men's final first, Chelsea?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
men's
nice.
final at noon, and the women's is, like, I think 4:30 or something like that. Yeah.
Chelsea and I will be on the call for the men's final. And you will be stuck with John Cullen and Tyler George for
the B team for the women's final.
Between now and then, we're going to try and cover 2 draws per game. We couldn't do that tonight. John Cullen's out bowling. Not just for fun. He's bowling with Team Holman and Team Jacobs. That's going to be some good content there. That's going to be the old shit show. So he's out doing that. And Tyler, being, I call him the president because he's American, president of the, whatever that is on the WCF board, Players Council.
Athlete Commission, yeah.
Athlete Commission. There you go. He is at a broom meeting, which sounds really exciting. So it's just us.
Just us.
And I asked Epping to come up, and maybe we could have done 2 games. Oh, here we go. We got the Swedish walkout. With some Swedish rock and roll. So that took me off guard there. I didn't know that was coming.
They didn't warn us up here. We're not in the know.
No, I don't need to be either. So we're about to get started. I didn't see who won the draw of the button, but the scoreboard tells me it was Team Inglis, hometown heroes here. Team Ontario, we'll call it Team Ontario and Team Italia.
I like it.
I don't think, is there another Italian women's team? Like, do they have to do anything other than stay qualified for events to get into them?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe juniors or like a younger team, but not one that's competing with them at this point.
Normally a 5-player team that is not afraid to rotate. That's kind of their motto or their game plan. But Julia was off at was it the World University Games it was on? Playing mixed doubles. And actually lost to Team Canada, it looked like. I thought that was her in the background of the picture. Lost the bronze medal game to Team Canada. Petrangelo and Zhang, who just came from the mixed doubles Olympic trials. How's your year going? That's pretty good for
not bad, eh?
That age.
Oh, what? Yes.
We played them first game, and it took everything we had. I made a couple shots that I don't usually make, actually, in the last end to beat them. Jen did what she normally does, but I actually made some shots, too, which was kind of cool.
Love it when that happens.
Right? So we're going to get underway here, and we're going to pray for, we need like a double center guard dance. Like, you know how you do like a rain dance?
Yeah, we need to choreograph that. There's got to be something on TikTok we can learn.
I want to figure out a way, and I am going to give it actually some thought on how we can start with rocks in play. Like, I guess you could just add a couple of rocks, right?
Yeah, you could. Like doubles, play some.
Yeah. I want them to feel the stress, Chelsea, that we feel when we play mixed doubles.
Yeah.
That's what I really want.
That is very fair. Mixed doubles is so much fun to watch and so stressful to play.
Calling for the center guard. So it's always a challenge to tell you who's throwing for Italy because they do switch up the lineup quite a lot. But that is Angela Romay, I believe, throwing lead stones and sliding into the rings. And Danielle Inglis is going to ask Cassandra de Groot. Longtime lead stone for this team. So hopefully hit and roll to the wing and then throw a delayed corner.
That would be my guess. I don't know that she'll run and hide completely, but not looking to take a big risk early on here. We were supposed to have rocks in play. If that guard hadn't slipped into the house, we would have been laughing.
We're going to see if they don't throw a corner guard, this is going to turn into a fireside chat with Chelsea Carey. She's just going to tell us stories. Maybe some old stories, like the 93 Briar tiebreaker story. That's a good one. You know that one?
Oh,
was it 93 or 94?
It was 93.
93.
Yeah, 93 in Ottawa.
I want to hear the truth. I've heard Howard's version, Glenn and Russ, so I want the truth. Glenn says he almost lost his... Well, he had a little bit of hair then. There was like a metal slider flying across the change room for some reason. It slipped out of your dad's hand, I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too.
We're not getting a corner guard, so let's just tell the story, Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, basically what had happened is there was a change made to the format during the event, during the Briar.
That's not a good thing?
Which, yeah, you always love that. You go in one way. So it used to be that the team that finished first place in the round robin would get a bye straight to the final, and then the next two teams would play in a semi, and then they went to sort of a page playoff, but they
had 4 teams tied, right?
They had 4 teams tied, so my dad's team, which was Vic Peters at the time, Manitoba, had beat everybody else. So they were 3-0, and so they should have been the team to get the bye to go to the final, and they didn't know until after their last round robin game that they were going to have to play this crazy series of tiebreakers to decide who was going to the playoffs. So they win the game. They only brought, because they knew if they won, they were going to the final. So they didn't bring extra shoes and shirts and all that kind of stuff, and they win the game, and then they're told they had to play these series of tiebreakers, and so then there was a protest for quite some time on the ice, and looking to speak to the man in charge, and that didn't happen, and eventually they were forced to play the games, and of course at that point we're not in any kind of headspace to win any of those games, so they went from being in the final to not making the playoffs in a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, it ended up they threw a draw to the button or something to see who was going to play who,
yeah,
and
but then
somebody got to throw last and pick who they were playing.
Pick who they were playing, yeah.
So somebody threw it through I don't know. So, hey, folks, curling's been a mess for a long time, but we're going to clean it up. The curling group is going to change things and put some transparency in play and listen to the players and listen to the sponsors and all the stakeholders. And they're going to make mistakes, but they're going to make fewer. They're going to get it to, and the slams have done that. I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but the slams have done that over the years, and there's very few controversies in the slams.
No, for sure, and it's when the odd time that we've had when it generally gets rectified quite quickly. So, the move away from tiebreakers, which is the case in a lot of events, and so I can see why that happened. But then the players staged a little bit of a revolt and said we don't want it like this, and so now tiebreakers are back. They listen to the players really well. The slams always have, which is great as players. Obviously, we really appreciate that, and they've always done a good job of it.
We, as the streaming commentators, have taken a stand on tiebreakers, though, Chelsea. They played at 7:30 in the morning, so we don't cover them. The games will be covered, because Home Team Live, they're animals. They never miss a game, but they will be silent.
No one's getting up at 6 a.m. to come cover
there's 3
a game.
more draws, too, and we want to do 2 draws every game, and so we love curling, but we don't love it that much. So anyway, that's where we're at.
Yeah, the poor crew has to do it, but the commentators have decided we're out.
So we did get a corner guard after a rollout, but I don't blame, especially with the rule, Stefania here, and banking some time. Oh, never mind.
Oh dear.
Stefania always uses all of her time.
Yeah.
They're always tight for time.
Yep.
I've seen her throw with less than 10 seconds multiple times, almost never throws her last shot of the game with a minute or more.
No, I think earlier in this event I saw her throw one with about 4 seconds left on the clock, which some people are just good at doing that. And I remember, I'm sure you could speak to this, I remember Kevin Cooey for years and deciding that they trying to play faster wasn't working, so let's just get good at throwing this rock with no time left. And he's, I think, the best there is, but Stefania has given him a run for his money because she's very clutch, but that would stress me out so much. I would not do well with that.
Okay, play the way.
And there is something to playing with a pace, right? And not not getting, what is it, paralysis through analysis.
Easy.
And
Callissa's rock. Calissa.
so, yeah, playing with Cooey and Kevin's...
Yep.
He just never wanted. He wanted to make sure he never missed anything in terms of shots, and it's just how he processes. And one of the smartest players I've ever played with, in terms of strategy and curling. And I mean, anybody that's watched curling knows I would say he's probably top 5 players ever. In this. When he's at his best, he has shots that lots of guys don't have.
Absolutely true. Yeah, totally.
So you just can't compete with that.
Okay, no.
But we had a hurry-up offense, and you know what? It worked well, a lot.
Yeah, you guys won a lot doing it that way.
We did, yeah. I mean, one time he did come out for the last shot of a slam semifinal and came out with an in-turn and threw an out-turn because we didn't have the shot, and we had 0 time left. Almost made it. Didn't quite.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's another idea, some speed curling. Like, they have speed chess, right? And just forcing mistakes.
Yes, yeah, because if you don't have time, that is when the mistakes get made for sure. So it brings in a whole other element to the game.
It's another chance at the come around. Kind of a really risk-free chance at a deuce here if you're Team English.
Yeah, it would be a deuce out of nowhere, that's for sure. But still, this has to be made first. You got to bury this and then hope for a little miss from Stefania.
At least it's a red guard, so Stefania, if this is perfect come around, she could choose to run it back. This has got to
get it by first, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. 15-2.
Ok, un po' di roll centrale.
Hit and roll away, probably.
10 verso il 9
I would think.
Nothing really great to put any pressure on Danielle, so just get away from that corner guard and take the blank, and then go to the second knowing that Danielle can't blank and see what happens.
Nice throw.
10 roll
Any thoughts on the format this week, Chelsea? I mean, the draft was part of it, but the one part we were just talking, I don't know who I was talking to about it, was so we drafted, which made the seeds, right, the top 4, and then they drafted the snake draft, and that became kind of, if you look at 4 pools, if you can stick with me, I know you can't see me, I'm drawing in the air. And 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So think of that as 4 lines. The crossover games for your 4th game, you played the same seed in the other pool, so across your line, rather than... So the crossover game for, let's say, Mike McEwen is Bruce Mowat. And Mike played against Dropkin. They played the same teams, but Dropkin's crossover is, and I'm going to get this wrong, but it's not Bruce Mowat.
Yeah.
It's Hosley or something like that. And not that there's no bad teams here, don't get me wrong. But did you know that, and any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I did know that, and personally, I don't love crossover games ever. I just don't. It's not how I think it should be done. It just creates some level of debate about fairness and everything else. And when it was you just play all the teams in another pool, that made more sense to me. But I mean, ideally, you would just have enough teams in your own pool to play them all once, and then that would be clean cut and easy to follow. But yeah, I don't really like crossover games personally. I just think that they confuse everybody, and they just open up a bunch of possible scrutiny that you don't really want to be dealing with. So not my favorite, but I like trying new things, though. I think that's smart, and we need to be doing that more. Curling's very much traditionally been a sport of, well, this is how it's always been done, so this is how we're going to do it, and that's not how you see growth and improve the sport and improve the experience for players and fans and everything. So I like that they're trying stuff. I'm personally not sure I love this format, but some of the teams I've talked to do, so it's all personal opinion. What do you think?
Is it the lower ranked teams that like it?
Well, yeah.
And that's an honest question, because it is, if there's an advantage, it's for the lower teams.
Yeah, in theory. No, I think it's a bit all over the place because there was a vote on it at Slam earlier, and that was what the majority of teams voted for. So, I don't know.
It's funny coming into this game. I didn't
It's not my personal favorite, but like I said, I think it's
worth a shot, though, as you said.
Yeah,
right?
like trying to be innovative, which is great.
So an unforced error there from Danielle, and she did say hit and roll behind the corner, but even if we nose it, that's fine. So now Stefania with a chance out of nowhere to just play a come around the corner guard to force to one in the first end. And as you said, she's a fantastic drawer. She's also very deliberate in the hack.
Very, yes.
She's as good as, I've done a bunch of their games this year, and she's as good a shot maker as there is, just kind of still not new to curling, obviously, but some strategy, maybe missteps from time to time, and that's part of why it's slow, is because they're not 100% sure what their game plan is in certain situations. And but if you watch the mixed doubles Olympics,
yeah, she didn't miss
in 2022. Yeah, she just kind of went all week without missing. And she's got a gold medal.
She sure does.
So made it good enough that it's buried. Danielle can't chase it, and we've got a draw for one here. So back to your question. I'm not one for dodging questions, Chelsea. I didn't forget. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the crossover. I'm with you. I don't love pools. It leads to complicated things. I mean, the cleanest thing is one pool of whatever, but we don't want to limit this to 7 or 8 teams. We want to have 16 teams. We used to run triple knockouts. They're the cleanest draw, but TV and promotion, they want matchups for better or for worse. Not sure I've really bought that being super important. I didn't see anybody promoting any matchups this week. Like, hey, you got to tune in this day for this matchup. Guess what? We're gonna have 4 awesome games every draw.
Yeah, with this quality of teams, I mean, that's my personal favorite. You give, and the 16-team triple is just such a perfect draw. That
simple, right?
Yeah, win 3 before you lose 3. I mean, how does it get any better than that? I understand the lack of predictability and that kind of thing, but for me, that would be, if I got to choose, that's what I would do. And then you take away the whole possibility of tiebreakers. It all just, it's hard to argue against it other than the scheduling thing.
And a 1 for Team Inglis, and we've got a 1-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this for second in action.
But otherwise, yeah, good throwing on that one.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Welcome back to the WFG Masters. I'm Brent Lang, joined by Chelsea Carey, 2-time Scotties Tournament of Heart champion. Another conversation that came up today as we see Cassandra de Groot throw the first lead rock and hopefully throw a guard.
Fingers crossed.
Hard line 2.
Somebody was asking me, Chelsea, at the Scotties, and is Scotties gone from the sponsorship?
I thought it was just from the provincial
That's
level
what I heard.
stuff.
That's okay. That's what we decided too, but it was in the men's change room, so we don't often have any facts in there.
Yeah, they don't. It used to be called, the provincial level stuff used to be called the Scotties and sponsored by Scotties. They've been out of that for a couple of years. But now apparently the discontinuation of the jewelry has become a thing.
That's what they were talking about, like how important is it? And I said, I think it's pretty important if, and it's cool to have. It's kind of like if, not that we're on the same level as golf yet, but if the Masters stopped giving out green jackets, I think there'd be a problem.
Yeah, they've made it so iconic because Scotties Kruger is the only sponsor that's ever sponsored the Women's Canadian Championship. So it's been that way since the inception of the championship. So there's now a lot of history and a lot of pride in the jewelry piece. And I don't know that they're discontinuing all of it. Like I think for winning the Scotties and for podium at the Scotties, you'd still get the ring, but the necklace for winning your provincial title and then the diamonds in the necklace was a big thing too. And so for that to be gone is a sad day for everybody who grew up dreaming of wearing that necklace.
So we've got a corner guard. Well done, Angela Romay. And now Cassandra, I think, was asked to throw a tight center guard.
Yep.
I think so as well.
So we're going to get some action here in the second.
You're fine. Okay, how heavy?
We had 2 blank ends in the first. In the Tiranzoni Hasselberg game, Hasselberg blanks the first.
Okay.
And so does Team Gim versus Team Kim. So
It's trying really really hard.
See if they can turn that into a deuce or if they have to draw for one or something with this. A reminder, if you're just tuning in, new rules trial this week. You cannot blank back-to-back end. Well, you can blank back-to-back ends, but you're going to lose the hammer in that next end. So
you don't want to. You'd like to avoid that. If you
yeah,
could.
it's come up a couple of times, and it changes a little bit later in the game. But so far, I don't think it's had a huge impact where somebody's going to say it's awesome or it needs to go.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's changed a particular end strategy here and there and how the players approach it, but I don't know that it's necessarily led to fewer blanks, which I think was the hope.
So Cassandra de Groot makes 2 perfect shots to start. Angela Romay trying to get one buried above the tee line would be better, but they're knifing it to get it over there. It's in there pretty good. So how is Danielle going to deal with this?
You do this.
That's usually hack when people tap their foot.
Yeah, typically. Try the chase. Probably have a little bit of that from the hack.
Can't remove the corner guard. Could just rub it, but Calissa Daly here, second on Team Inglis, trying to chase, kill it and stay. Can't hit the guard too hard.
Yeah, that's why I hesitate to call this. It's just it's really risky when if you hit the guard, you may as well have not thrown it.
You don't want to just kick your rocks into the corner.
No, it's usually not a great strategy, but
great shot.
If you make it like that, then it's great. It's just it is the best result. It's just a riskier call with the 5-rock rule where you can't touch that guard.
Well, yeah. I almost felt like on your other ones,
Anzi, la
like
facciamo per così per olare in là.
On your other ones that you had
So
thrown
Stefania's thinking, that didn't work out great. Let's maybe run this back.
It's definitely a much more solid
Those are
one, yeah.
perfect from Cassandra de Groot, so got to deal with that. Want to save the shooter, though. If you don't here, I wonder, as Marta Lo Deserto playing second today, trying this kind of basically a nose run back.
Okay.
Pretty good, but loses the shooter. Will Danielle guard or peel? Don't do
Really
it.
good speed.
Don't do it. Yeah, Danielle.
Yeah, the telepathy going from up here.
Yeah. I think this is most teams would guard here. It's perfectly top 4, near the center line. It's only your second stone.
Yeah, it's not a super high-risk situation for Danielle to give up a pile either, so I like this call.
Team Inglis will be one of the favorites going into the provincials in Ontario this year.
Sweep. Line's good.
Team Holman, I mean, are they still an Ontario team?
They are.
I guess they are, right?
Yep.
They're
you're gonna
obviously
have to
still in
knife it.
and Scotty's their Team Canada.
Whoa. Just a little. Whoa.
So
16-1.
Team Ontario,
Nice.
ladies teams are always happy when Rachel's not at provincials.
Oh, always, yes.
Con l'out per il roll di là. Sì.
Team Inglis defending champions of that event.
That'll be coming up very quickly here, end of the month probably.
Sì.
Another chance for Marta. Can she back up the first double with another double and clean this end up? This looks low.
One's going to over curl on her.
Just the same thing.
Yeah, it looks
See
like
if Kira Brunton can replace that guard. And do you think Chelsea will, Stefania, I know we've seen her be aggressive. Do you think she'll ever switch to maybe throwing a freeze in there, saying the run backs aren't really getting us out of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if there's a chase available to her, I think she tries it, because if you tick the guard, you're still in pretty good shape. But I'm not sure if she'll take on the freeze. I think she's still got, like, that rock is just probably not quite full 4-foot, so she still has a makeable shot for one. If you throw a freeze,
rock.
I mean, I guess you can't guard both sides, but potentially you could make her shot for one more difficult.
Yep. Switch then. Yep. Hard.
Calissa trying to get this one kind of fully across center.
Hard. Whoa. You're good.
That's perfect.
16-4. Good speed.
Could chase that with like a back 8-back line.
Yeah, I think
Stefania's looking at it.
Yeah, I think I would try it.
La guardia, okay.
You chisel the guard and roll your shooter, and it's still okay. You open it up.
Logo.
Switch over to Sportsnet if you want to see the coolest CEO in Canadian sports, well, world sports. Nick Sulsky and Robbie Doherty talking about the All-Star game, I'm sure, in Nashville. And Nick just looks like a guy that belongs in Nashville.
Yes,
if you
he
know
totally
him,
does. Yeah.
He behaves exactly like he looks. He's a really good dude, loves to have a good time.
He did tell me he's going to take over the telestrator tomorrow. He's been practicing his drawing skills, apparently.
Like Ron Burgundy style, or?
Something like that. He's got something up his sleeve, anyway.
Uh-oh. A little light there, but no different than missing the run back. Has a couple of corner guards now, but getting late in the end. He's got his T-line T-shirt on. What a guy, always on brand. On message. That's where the event is going to take place. If you are a curler, you've probably heard of T-line. I think it's Mark Bulger's place down in Nashville.
It's supposed to be in a pretty incredible facility, from what I understand.
I've seen pictures, and it's got curling, and it's got, I think there's bowling and darts and pool, and it's just like a
And
big...
a restaurant, I think,
Yeah,
too.
a big bar atmosphere with a bunch of different sports, and they curl down there kind of like if you were going bowling. You can rent it with your friends for an hour, or...
That's so cool.
It's not the old stuffy traditional way with us where you got to be a member and you got to sign up for 16 weeks on Mondays at 7:30 and... Anyway, I'm not bitter about that kind of stuff.
No, no.
Curling needs to evolve a bit, but that's in almost the same spot, so...
And maybe even a hair more, like the guards may be a little longer, so this shot, I think, is easier than it just was.
See if Elena Mathis can make the adjustment and get right to the nose. If she has just back line, I think she can almost, and she gets close to the guard, she can probably even roll low and turn this into an offensive situation.
Like,
Yeah, definitely could.
Yeah.
Sestak can move a long way. He's going to touch it for sure. There it goes.
Vai, tira.
Pretty good. I mean, Danielle can't nose it now, and when she rolls away, then Stefania's going to be able to throw a draw around there at least. She's probably going to have to draw on her last, or she might take on a double if there's a double, but this is jammable.
Oh, very, yeah.
Like,
To be careful not to jam
solid
it.
hack. This is a spot that will finish well.
Yeah, I would pick a weight that
There.
can't really jam. I think the softer you throw this, the more likely it is to take off and you nose it and jam it, and then Stefania hits and rolls away, and you feel really bad giving up that kind of what we would call a soft deuce.
Yeah, I think she's playing it quieter because she wants to stick it, but I'm not sure how. I mean, it is beneficial to stick it, but is it worth the risk of jamming it?
Yeah, that's why I like board weight or just kind of firm board. You can still stick it, but
yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think it's super important to stay. I don't think Stefania's ever chasing the back one.
I doubt it.
She's probably drawing, but I usually get that wrong. So stay tuned.
Well, and I don't think, like, if I'm Danielle Inglis, I'm not terribly upset if Stefania blanks the second end, because then they can't blank the third. They have to score in the odd end, and you get the hammer back and four. So I wouldn't be working that hard for a force. I would be okay if she blanked it.
Very true. Good point there, and this looks perfect, though, so there's going to be somebody's score here unless something really tragic happens. But Stefania does have a chance. The center guard's a bit high, but probably wants this right on the A&M in Grand Slam of curling, top 8 foot, dead buried. And Danielle will probably try and draw around it, but see how it plays out.
Okay.
The other shot is just freeze the back one and see if Danielle makes a mistake. You're never going to get into trouble that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I was just hoping we'd go over there and not leave them anything for their second.
Our cameraman drinking down there? What's this? Or am I bouncing? Who's bouncing here?
Well, if it's you, it's both of us.
Holy, I haven't even had a drink yet.
Like, I'm trying to remember from her last game if that one came in as much. I didn't remember it, but we also didn't play it a lot.
The guards moved pretty nice and gradual.
Yeah.
So first skip stone. Team Italy, Stefania Constantini. Intern come around. The higher this can be in the house but still be shot, the harder it is for Danielle to chase it. They don't love it yet. Looks like Elena's getting ready to carve this in there.
Looks like the weight's all there on its own. You need it to curl and sit.
Don't put it back button. Not bad, just a little bit heavy, but it's pretty varied.
Yeah, came back far enough that you probably can throw the chase for Danielle if you want to, but you could also just lock a freeze on there.
Freeze bump, turn it into a steal maybe?
Yeah, if you could attack it a little, that would be great.
Yeah, if we're moving it, it would
You straight froze, it's really hard for Stefania to get in there for a second point.
Okay, I'm good with the freeze.
The freeze bump's probably easier than the chase, eh, Chelsea?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Let's play the freeze.
I'm all for taking the easier shots, especially, and it's also a better result, really.
I do, yeah, it is a better result. The chase is just a straight force, but it won't be a hard shot for the single point. This way, if you could ever sit shot, you make her throw something really tough to even score.
Okay.
The only downside is if you're a little heavy and you bounce off.
Yeah, that's the risk.
The deuce.
And that's, I think she's talking about throwing just the freeze, which I think is the way to make this. Just throw the freeze weight and then let the sweepers do the rest. You don't have to move it very far, and the only thing you don't want to do is exactly that little chip off and give Stefania a wide open shot for 2 points.
A bit concerning to me when the thrower, in this case it's the skip, the last thing they say in the hack is should be fast.
Easy, Let it work, please.
Makes me a little nervous that we're going to be light.
Yeah, that's fair.
But doesn't look like that's the case.
Just go easy. No line.
Needs to curl here, but if the weight is right, it should curl to it, as long as it doesn't bump here.
Line's good.
Line's getting real good now. Very nice. Some Team Inglis fans in the stands. Outturn, draw chisel off the yellow, or draw beside. In turn to the side of the button.
Yeah, I think it's there. It's really tough, but I'm not sure that outturn chisel is any easier.
No, I think it's harder probably. And
on that guard, that wide guard, believe it or not, is probably, I think it's maybe there, but you got to squeak that outside yellow, I think, to make the chisel because you were trying to hit it so thin.
So you kind of, as a sweeper, want to sweep this one just to biting the back of the tee line, like almost back button, because it actually can curl a little bit around that red and get a bigger piece of the button. But if you draw right beside the red and it's touching it, you're going to get 2. Not the dream shot for 2 that you hope for. Draw the ocean, like draw anywhere in the rings, but final stone, second end, Stefania Constantini with a extremely difficult draw for 2.
I knew it was going to be one of those ones that wasn't really swept to kind of thing. Well, there's a big difference between like tee line weight to top 4 to top 8 in terms of the line and the curl.
Here it comes. I set it up too early. I forgot she takes her time.
We'll get it figured out by the end of the game.
So if I'm a sweeper here, Chelsea, I'm almost not even listening unless it's a hard line. Like, I'm just trying to put it on the tee line.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't affect the line too much, and if the speed's not right, it doesn't matter anyway. This is close.
Gotta go to get it by. To get it by, I think she's got it.
Oh my God. Look, it just rubbed the yellow.
It did, but she might still have it. Get the red out of there. It looks yellow a little bit, but it's close.
We can measure.
It's a measure, and what a great effort by Constantini.
If they didn't feather that, I think she would have been fine.
That kudos to her because that was tough. Yeah, I was just what I'm noticing too, just like from a line
It does look,
is
yeah,
especially
yellow
in
to me
its weight
too.
is that when a rock's been swept, especially down the path, it definitely speeds it up and takes it more time to get to where it's going, is what I'm seeing.
Danielle trying to figure out the ice here, talking to her front end.
I wonder what she thinks.
So it's 1 for sure. It's either 1-1 or 2-1.
Oh, halfway good.
1.5.
They'll probably go tight to like your intern.
Ooh, that was close, but it is yellow. So it is just 1 for Team Constantini. What an effort there, but we've got a tie game here after 2 ends. We'll bring you more live action from Home Team Live here at the Guelph WFG Masters when we return right after this.
That was 14-9. Yeah, on that spot. But yeah, it's great.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Stretta. Stretta.
Welcome back, curling fans. Thanks for tuning in to Home Team Live, bringing you all of the action from start to finish of the entire Grand Slam of Curling season. We've got our feature matchup, Team Constantini versus Team Inglis. Tied at 1. Not a ton of stuff going on, but some very interesting kind of shots being made. The draw to the side of the button just underswept by millimeters, really. Had to measure and didn't come up with it. And Team Italy going out with the center guard. And Team Inglis going to go straight around it. No corner guard here, maybe because it's the third end. Or it's never a bad idea to get shot rock, is it, Chelsea?
Just line.
Not very often.
Line's good. Play the weight. Where? It'll come off. If bring it back. No, this rock will come off. Okay.
So they think this one's a little slow.
Yeah, it's okay. 14-4.
Just stops, but that's a good opportunity for Italy to really narrow down the scoring here.
Yeah, definitely a little bit deeper than they would have been hoping for Team Inglis. In a perfect world, what do you think? You're biting the forefoot on that one? And so
yeah, half in the 4.
Yeah.
Dead buried, I think, is perfect.
So opportunity here for Angela to weld a freeze. If you could tap it an inch, you'd probably be shot, but I don't think you're really very concerned about getting shot right now. You're just trying to lock it on there.
Did your teams ever, and I know you played on a few different teams in the slams, did your teams ever do anything different to prepare for a slam as you would for a Canadian championship or even just a regular tour event?
I don't know that we did anything different other than before the two teams practiced together, we used to practice the practice to try to get the draw to the button figured out, because the format for draw to the button at a slam isn't the same as what it is as at a Canadian championship, and nor is the amount of time you have to throw, nor are the rules. So we would, before both of those events, we would practice that specific practice to try to make sure we were in as good a spot as we could be to have a good draw to the button total. It's as good as winning a game a lot of the time. So it was, we knew we needed to focus on that, but it's harder to practice now when the other team throws at the same time as you.
Right, yeah, that is interesting, and that's something that there was some pushback last year, but I don't think it's a big issue now. But I think that's when I started to lose interest in curling and playing anymore, was when we had to practice our practice. It's like, oh my God, what would Allen Iverson say?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Practice your practice?
How many times can you say practice in a short period of time? He would break that record. But yeah, it's just so important that with the formats now, that draw to the button. So yeah, we used to practice the practice.
Good times. I'm saying that tongue in cheek. We do that for mixed doubles and for everything. Everybody does now. It is so important. But Wayne Madal used to call practice. Yeah, well, we'll practice. It's the round robin. That's practice. And then when we get to the playoffs, we'll be ready from all that practice.
That sounds like Wayne.
Yeah, well, when you just kind of was good all the time. I guess he probably practiced enough, got his 10,000 hours in when he was a kid, and I still think, unless he was hurt, if he came out here right now and was physically able to slide, he'd be ready to compete in about 5 minutes.
I couldn't agree more.
And I'd still want him on my team.
Yeah, absolutely. Make shots and drink Caesars.
Yeah. Crown and Coke. So straight run back here. Those reds angled very nicely. No, double peel maybe. I thought that was coming straight back, but they're just trying to make our job hard. I see a guard. Hit it. No, that's a good call. You have to. You can't leave those reds angled there. And
yeah, they've just made too good a little freeze tap there and queued it up onto the very vulnerable yellow back there. So
yeah.
And now Stefania's saying, I don't see anything great to guard. Like, it seems weird guarding in a tied game when you're not even shot.
I feel like you were close.
So let's hit my 3.
They came up.
And I think that then Danielle will switch to blank. You think? Is that what you see, Chelsea?
Well, she has the corner guard, and they were playing like she was saying sit, sit, sit as it was rolling. So I think she intends to use it somehow. I don't know if that's a hit and roll or a draw or what, but I think she's going to try still to generate a 2. She just wants to make sure it's a little bit lower risk than it was looking like it might be when that those center guards were there.
Same way, double and roll. Even that's good. Yeah, you got it.
Calissa Daly here.
Yep.
Make a double.
Yep.
Don't know that she can double and roll, but
I don't think so either, but
Nice shot.
pretty good. Getting closer to bringing that corner guard into play. Halfway through the end here, third stone here. Elena Mathis just trying to nose this. There's nothing. This is a defensive situation for Team Constantini, just trying to lie to as long as possible, keep Team Inglis' attention away from behind that corner guard and hope for the force of 1.
Sì. Oh. Sì. Oh. Angie. Buona Ele.
Okay.
10,5.
Rolled over where there is a double. I still don't think. I think the roll is probably not there. They're probably going to jam it.
yeah, I think it's one or the other. You could play the hit and roll and be okay with the jam, but I think if you're trying to make the double, you're not going to get much of a roll anywhere.
Clean, yep.
Calling normal, so
Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
In
The
between.
other way. Yep. Okay.
So didn't get the double or the roll, but a little tricky for Team Constantini to remove this one. Don't want to jam, so maybe they're thinking if they overprotect, they might hit and roll out.
Yeah, then your blank is back alive.
Yeah, it's so late in the end. They're not going to see them go around the corner, though. They're just going to hit that red one
Yeah,
if
I
that
think
happened.
so. Yeah, definitely.
So Danielle's probably switching to, if they hit and stay, we need to make a double. Always hated getting forced when we didn't really even try to make a deuce.
Yeah, it just feels like such a cheap way to get forced. If you're trying hard for a deuce, you know there's a risk you're going to get forced, but when you didn't really get to do that, then it is frustrating. It does roll out there, so yeah, it looks like we're headed straight to Blanksville with this one.
Io ho preso 11.
Over in the Sportsnet feature game, a big 3 by Anna Hasselborg in the second end, so she's got a 3-0 lead now over Silvana Tiranzoni.
Not a team you want to get down that many to.
No, definitely
They
not.
hit really well.
Clean. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard.
Just really have to stay anywhere in the rings here.
Clean. Okay. That's good. 11-3. Nice.
Ok, vengo 9,5, nose, cerchiamo
Nose
roll
it.
magari qua così.
I got that.
Yeah, my Italian's not very good, but I understood
Quindi
that.
roll esterno.
Nose hit.
9,5.
Danielle can't really try to roll all the way behind the corner. It would be behind the T line, and if she rolls out, she'll get forced to 1, which is a lot worse than the blank. So she'll probably even just, if Stefania can nose it, she'll probably hit and roll away from the guard.
Yeah, I would think over to that out-turn side and
Filomeno.
just set up your blank.
It's almost like if you had to make that, you'd almost have to throw firm.
Verso il 9.
To make it, yeah. Because it's just like you put it too far out there and it's...
Yeah, no, same line with...
We're down to the skip stones in the third end. You can hear Danielle talking to Kira back there, figuring out what they're going to do. What weight they're going to throw for this hit. Oh, did they get an unforced error here? Almost rolled far enough where you could go around the corner guard.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to now.
Yeah, out here
I think it would be Shaw.
It should
Who's
run
that good-looking
straighter.
guy I just saw on TV, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Scusa, sono uscita male
Run
questa.
better.
Sono uscita
Oh,
male.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it was Robbie Doherty.
L'ho lasciata soft, però comunque è rimasta.
Little guest appearance from the man himself, Nick Sulsky, up here in the booth.
9,5.
Made it a little bit more likely to roll out here, and that would be ideal for Stefania. If Danielle rolled out here, they could draw around the corner guard and get that force. But
yeah, it's about the only time when you don't have the hammer that you want to be drawing around a corner guard, but that's pretty much exactly what we saw happen in the first end.
I didn't love it early, but I think the weight is good enough that this should always finish. And you can see how far away from the corner that is. It's super hard to ever throw a hit and roll and get it still in the rings and behind that corner guard.
Yeah.
They'll probably give it a go, though. Probably throw firm or even peel here. And
It did. Floated the whole way in the
See how it
middle.
goes.
Yeah, you got to throw it pretty hard to have a chance.
Did I? Just that spot. It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
But did you like the throw?
I think you
Filomeno.
Okay.
You're going to throw 11
Corampo.
here. Maybe a...
So final stone. Stefania, see if she can just hit and stay and
No, it just came up.
maybe
I mean, the thing is, too, is that was a fresh
get an
pop that we
unforced
hadn't
error
really
and maybe a
thrown.
nose hit or even a flash.
So the next time it may not come.
I heard even Mr. Gushu himself flashed a blank attempt today, which is, makes it possible for anybody then.
It is a true story.
Oh! And jeep. Oh, buona.
We take tight broom here.
No problem there, hit and stay, and Danielle's saying take tight broom. That's really tight broom, but she was doing that the other day. She just knows she floats her out, turn a bit, sets it back, which as long as you do it every time, it doesn't really matter what you do.
Straight out. Yeah.
Non forte.
Yeah, this is a spot where you can pull it out here. That's the tight broom. Yep.
We just were on this sheet for the Epping Dropkin game, and this particular spot seems to be the straightest spot on the sheet. They got fooled. Both teams got fooled a few times with, and they almost everything they threw here was high side, and they were sweeping it to curl. So Danielle thinking that they can sweep it back if they need to, back it up a little bit, which they might need to.
Hard! Okay.
Not that much, though. We got a nose hit, and we got another single on the board. 2-1 Team Inglis. We'll bring you the fourth end action when we get back.
Not that much when I throw it like that.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Nope, sure wasn't. Sure. So a little mistake there from Danielle Inglis. Blank attempt, curled all the way up to the nose, and she takes the single point and carries a 2-1 lead into the fourth end here.
Yep, hard.
Stefania Constantini of Italy will have the hammer, playing 4.
Yep, hard. Right in. Yep. 15-7. Oh, we are now.
First shot for Cassandra de Groot does slide into that top 12 foot, I think, but Constantini choosing to ignore it and throwing the corner guard, looking to set up their multiple point score here in the fourth end.
It's a spot where if you do pinch it. I mean, I like the throw. Let's just give a love embrace.
Okay.
That's my fault. So. We kind of think her rocks are the same now.
This needs to sit or it's going to be in the house unhittable as well. Stops just in time. So that is in that free guard zone. So Danielle's going to elect to throw up the center guard on that top 12-foot rock, and we should have some rocks in play this end.
Clean. Lines a hair tight here. If you can keep your
How
brush
did we get to this, Chelsea? How'd that top 12 one get there?
I'm not sure what the call was. They were sort of on and off sweeping it, so I'm not sure if it was supposed to be in further, and then they got off to let it stop, or if they thought it was sliding in, so they tried to carry it further in, but Constantini ignored it and threw up the corner. So we got guards.
Questa? Sì. No, è dentro, scusa, c'è dentro.
Maybe we should have hit this one. Is that what they're
È
saying?
dentro questa.
I think going around the corner guard here makes a lot of sense. Stefania's back. It's tough curling. It's 2.5 hours. You want to drink a lot of water, and I'm getting old, so it's getting harder.
It's easier in 4-person because at least there's 4 of you. It's hard in doubles.
It's so hard in doubles. I almost broke my ankle at the trials because I did have to go to the washroom in the 6th or 7th end, and you only get 90 seconds, so I'm running. You know the uneven floorboards under the carpet all the time?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I thought I blew out my ankle.
Oh no.
Thought it was over.
That would have been bad.
This one looks a little bit light, but we're going to have lots of guards this end, Chelsea. Lots to talk about.
So many guards. It's very exciting.
That's not in the rings. Tell me that's not in the rings. It's not. Right around them all. See if Calista Daly can whip one right to the button. Probably in our best interest. It's interesting when you make all your shots early, really well, and get them in trouble, they bail automatically. Sometimes it's, and not that anybody does it on purpose, but if you can just kind of miss one early and just kind of muck it around a little bit, they kind of leave your guards longer, and then you can kind of get them later. And
it's true. It's a sneaky approach to kind of catching the other team off guard.
And again, it's not something you're going to do on purpose, but 3 guards here, they're going to deal with these 3 centers. And one of the examples was it 2008 or 2009 World Final where T. Martin threw the rock away?
Oh, yeah. I want to say... No.
I think it was 2009.
I want to say
they won the first one and lost the second.
Yeah, I think they won in 08 in North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken.
And Peter Smith was the second for Dave Murdoch, and he missed both of his shots a little bit. He was close. He was freezing or tapping and rolled off, and Kennedy made the 2 perfect hit and rolls, but they left those 2 guards the whole time. If he makes either one of those, they race up to peel the guards.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just, and again, you're never going to do that on purpose.
No. No, everyone's trying to make their shots, but it does kind of seem to change a little bit where your mentality goes. When they make a good one, you're like, okay, I can't leave those guards there, and you run up and peel them. And when you want so badly to punish somebody for missing a shot that sometimes you go too aggressive when there are those missed shots, trying to really put the screws to them, and then you end up kind of doing it to yourself.
See if Calista can just add a little speed. I think her line would have been fine. She was just probably 6 feet light, so another chance for the same shot.
Okay, yeah, play the weight. Yeah. Yeah, hard. Play top 4, line's great. Right to my broom.
This line looks really good if the weight's right. This could be dead buried on the button.
Yep. Okay. 14-8.
Just kind of lost it a little at the end, but that's pretty good.
Shoot. I just died on you, eh?
2-minute warning curling trivia. Chelsea, let's get after it.
I have a feeling we'd be pretty good at that.
Più tosto, più fina. Okay? 9. Sí.
Trying the straight yellow double. Makes it, but it stays in the side 8-foot, but that red rock stays in a very nice spot.
It's a lot of reds.
Very usable, all 3 of those red ones, and Seems like advantage Team Inglis, but I'm not sure. Chelsea, pick a side.
Yeah, I mean, you're always happy when you're drawing to sit 2, but those reds are a little bit scary. You probably want this one as buried around that tighter red as you can, just so that they can't run it back, but you never want to poke out the other side and leave them a hit and roll behind the corner guard either, so it's just a bit of a tough spot, but I don't know that there's really anything else to do. I guess you could nose that tight red one, but it just seems like a silly thing to do when you're sitting one buried.
I like this, and yeah, I'd like to make sure this gets all the way to the top button.
Okay. Cass's rock. To my broom, to my broom. Yep, 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 yep. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
See
Yep,
if they
yep,
left
yep.
this
Right
one
back.
too. They're just not quite getting it there. It's just dying at the end a little more than they're expecting, but that's in there pretty good. But that red is available, like you said, Chelsea. If that's another rock of curl. Oh, she's thinking double peel. That red's there.
Se la prendi meno, vai su questa.
Okay, going for red, red, yellow.
I think so.
And if you're getting greedy, let's roll it buried behind the corner guards too.
Yeah, you could.
See if Elena Mathis can show us something special here. A little trick shot.
Shoot
it. Yeah, got the other one out and opens up the center.
Pretty good.
See any options here for Danielle outside of the guard?
You could sit 2, but I don't love going around a corner guard without the hammer ever, so I think I would be throwing the guard. The nice thing is it doesn't have to be quite as perfect because that red one is covering the outturn side of this yellow, so you have a little bit more margin for error when that's the case.
What's up, Max? Once it gets to center, it will go.
Per quello ti ho detto buon pro side. Ah, figa.
So Kira Bratton just trying to replace this guard, kind of right at the top of the World Financial Group logo.
Yep. Okay, yep. High on this line. Yep, hard. Hard.
Looked a little soft on release.
Hard. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hard.
Danielle said hard right away, so they're in danger of this over curling.
Leave it. Okay, just keep your brush on it. Sit. Whoa. Sit, sit, sit.
Yeah,
17. Okay.
not a super well thrown rock, I would say. Just a little soft from Kira out of her hand, as you said, Chelsea. And then it starts curling early, loses a little speed, and now there's a chase.
Good wave.
Yeah, it's funny. You've probably heard us talk about how this ice here this week, it's been great and really consistent, but maybe a little bit straighter than what we're used to seeing at the slams. But that being said, you still have to throw a positive release, or else that's exactly what's going to happen. If any rock starts to curl early out here, you're pretty much dead. So even though it is that little bit straighter, you still have to be positive. That little forward or outward motion or a little bit of extra rotation, different teams do it differently, but you got to give yourself a chance. You don't ever want the rock to start curling early on you.
They didn't even try and make the roll there. She was curling it at the end, where if they keep sweeping, that might have been able to roll right over, buried on that GSOC logo. But nonetheless, a well-thrown stone, and
kind of flirting with this line.
Team Constantini lies one.
I think everything should be gradual in the middle here.
Let's see if Danielle will tell us how she's going to make this.
Once it gets to center, it'll just go.
Trying to roll under the yellow one, Chelsea?
That's what I'm thinking. You could roll either way, but those red runbacks on the left-hand side, as we look at it, are so short that I think I'd want to roll it behind my own, and then the only red to run back over there is just a lot longer, so a much harder shot.
Good angle there. You can see from head on, Danielle slid out straight at the target. Looked like a good positive release, and this is really close.
That's curling like crazy.
Made the roll, but gonna force, kind of rolled too far. Now Constantini can draw around right beside that one and be buried. And
There's like almost no helping. I was trying to keep you on, but I was like, anything.
Too far, probably better than not far enough. But yeah, if that rolls a rock less, you're in a better spot here.
So you could see Elena Mathis there checking it out. Where do we have to be exactly? Because once we're shot, we probably want to stop sweeping. You could even draw like right on the corner of that yellow one, and then even the run back wouldn't really be available. So
It was great. It was great, but yeah, really goes. I feel like that was the most intuitive curl I've ever seen. You were like, I think it's gonna curl. Yep. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. Trust the intuition. Yeah. Feel good about certain, like, I feel like I have a really good
intern draw a little bit. Yes, it's a little bit different line than Stefania threw in the second end, but she did throw a straight intern draw to the button, so I would say this speed will be similar. Probably get a similar curl, and she should be close here.
Yeah, I heard Danielle mention a few times that when it crosses the center line, it'll really curl. So thinking that it'll ride that line a little bit, and then as it comes off it, it'll really get that aggressive finish. We'll see if that's true for Stefania as well.
She's going to need it to really finish because this has got a curl. There it goes, but is it going to be enough? Chaseable, definitely freezable.
I mean, we don't need to be cute.
That is very chaseable, yeah.
Yeah,
Just never really had it quite on the right line. A little bit heavier, maybe 4 feet lighter, and let the sweepers work it in there. But
I like that. Yeah, I have a solid
Yeah, it did go once it crossed the line, but with that little bit of extra weight, it crosses the line so late that it didn't have time to get all the way over there.
Yeah. Okay. Hack. Yeah. If it's going really, really nice past the guard, we can just carve it in and get it a little bit over. But let's not be cute about anything here. Yeah. Yeah.
So hack waiter here for Danielle Inglis. Would love to get a little bit to the low side of this and roll underneath those guards, but you heard her say right at the end, we won't get too cute with this, meaning won't play it too tight to that guard.
Hard. Curl. Keep going. Yep. Hard. Straight. Whoa. Straight. Roll it.
I'm gonna
Roll
this
it
to
the other way, yeah.
Back 4 foot. Whoa. It's good. Gonna force Stefania to throw the same draw. I would have loved to see that stay in the 4 foot, so she had to probably hit it.
Stick, yeah.
That's cute.
She just threw this, but mission accomplished for Team Inglis to have them forced to 1, and maybe could steal 1 or 2 here, depending on what Stefania comes up with the last final rock of the 4th end. Close the first half of this game in a must-win situation for both teams. And I don't think both of them can win.
That'd be a neat trick, but I've never seen it happen.
Well, I knew how to make it. I was like, I didn't want to go quite as...
roll that way.
Yeah. Honestly, great call there.
Who needs the exact same throw as her last one.
Great.
Let the sweepers just clean it in there. Sweeper's dream.
Anyways, in any case, good force.
Sure. Score next time? No. Blank?
I think blank or
Yeah.
but also if you're happy ability to get up to
You can hear Danielle and Kira talking about, what are we going to do next then? Score? Blank?
Yeah, I think he'd love a blank if he could get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, blank, but then also the guards there. And
Nobody looks too worried about this one.
14-9 come prima.
Draw the side of the 4 foot here for Stefania Constantini. I'm going to tie the game up at 2. We're going to take a couple-minute break here, and we'll be back with the second half action right away.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line. It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared. I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Welcome back to the WFG Masters of Curling, fourth stop on the Grand Slam of Curling circuit, soon to be renamed the Bruce Mowat circuit, potentially. He's won the first three on the men's side. Rachel Holman won 2 out of 3. Carrie Einarson won the other, so the women keeping it Canadian, but the men, knock, knock, Team Canada, where are you at? Somebody's got to knock this Mowat character down. Looks hard to do, though. I'm glad it's not up to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one responsible for that, although he did actually lose this afternoon, which is always news these days when Bruce Mowat loses with a... He made an absolute pistol in the 8th end, and Nicholas Hedin made an absolute pistol right back for 3 or 4, I think, and end the game. So doesn't mean Bruce Mowat's still not going to win the whole event, but we did witness a loss, which is a rarity.
Just carried really well up there. 14-4.
Fifth end here, Team Inglis with the hammer. You heard Danielle and Kira saying, you know, score or blank, and it's like, yeah, those are the options. Either one would be good. So with that in mind, no need to take any additional risk. Don't need the corner guard. Going straight around, which is generally the play to keep the blank alive. The more guards there are, the less likely of a blank. A couple updates, Chelsea. We got Kitazawa versus Schwaller. Kitazawa up 3-0 playing the 4th end. They got to be tight on time, don't they?
Yeah, they are.
They're almost done the 4th. But
Yeah, they're not too bad, but don't want to be any slower.
And then we've got Gim versus Kim, battle of 2 Korean teams, and it's 2-1 for Kim. Gim with the hammer and 5, so got a tight battle there. And our Sportsnet feature, we've got Team Tiranzoni and Team Hasselberg. And it is 3-1 Team Hasselberg with the hammer playing 4, and this is heading to a blank. 1 rock in play. Nobody blanked the last end. Nope. So Anna's going to try and blank this one. Take the hammer to the 5th end up 2. So comfortable there for Team Hasselberg.
Hard! Keep going, hard! Hard, you got it, hard! Okay.
Don't want to throw another center guard here if you're Cassandra.
Yeah, stay straight. Okay, it's good.
Gets it in the rings, but not sure that's great.
No, it's basically another guard, and because it's a piece buried, you can't use it if this freeze is made. So, not what they would have been looking for there. Stefania Constantini, of course, probably knows that Danielle Inglis would like to blank this end, and so is going to do everything she can to not let her. Double center guards.
Elena trying to bring this one across with a little carve sweep, but needs to get the speed right. Very nice. Marta putting that one exactly where they needed to. And if you're, what do you do here, Chelsea?
Top 8.
You could
Yeah, what does that
you could
get us?
consider peeling the guards, a double peel or something like that, but looks like she's gonna choose to go in. She does still have the whole forefoot for a second point in theory. I don't know that that's necessarily going to stay the case, but
Pardon? Like play that?
Yeah.
It's got to be easier to draw there and get the same result and have
Take the
3 in the
guard.
rings.
It's better on that
if you split it though, then maybe you have her on both sides. Like right now you can't really use your yellow and it's basically just another guard for Stefania. So I don't it's the problem with splits is that they're a lot harder to make than they look like they are.
Okay.
And play it tight, okay. I don't, here's what I don't want to see. 2 center guards, and then Team Constantini gets another red one frozen on their red one on our yellow shot rock.
Agreed.
So this is fine if it's made. I think if you throw the draw, you're going to get something in front of it most times, and they wouldn't be able to freeze on it, so.
Yeah, it's definitely an easier way to accomplish that with the draw.
Where? Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
You can hear Cassandra trying to tell Danielle where it is, but she hasn't had much of a voice right from day one.
Oh, she sent me a message the first day when she saw that we'd called her game and said, apologized for coughing in my ear the whole time. Said she's had the cold for like 2 weeks.
I've thought that since the beginning of the game.
Never fun. So made the split nicely.
It doesn't look like unless you're doing something else.
Stefania wants to talk.
Much different in my eyes.
They got lots of time left, but I promise you, they're going to use it all.
Yeah, it's been a really simple start, so they haven't needed to use a bunch yet, but now we've got some rocks in place, so that'll slow everybody down a little bit.
Probabilmente. A me non dispiace o roll o semplicemente venire direttamente qua.
I really, there's been nothing this game that showed me that it's running straight at all.
A me non dispiace, però dobbiamo
And yes,
giocarlo
there
con
is
una
like a
velocità
kick speed
forte
thing.
e rollare must.
I'm just saying, like, I just don't like her too. I know, despite whatever else it was. And
Talking about Cassandra's rock. Don't like the 2 rock.
It's never, it's far off of whatever it's supposed to do.
E loro giocano questo. Questa rimane sempre, per quello non mi
They did play with this set before, I think, because they keep referring to another game, so they should have a pretty good idea, but it sounds like they're seeing some things today that they maybe didn't see in that first game, which can happen. Ice conditions sometimes change it, plus they scratched the rocks since then, so the tendencies don't necessarily... They usually eventually turn back to the same, but right after they scratch, they can show something a bit different if one is scratched a little bit more aggressively than another, or something along those lines.
It's a bit of an art, right? They just literally put sandpaper and they put the rock on the sandpaper, kind of drag it across one way, turn it, and drag it the other way. And it takes a lot of sandpaper. Bravo blank confirmed, I heard. So we've got a blank on the Rogers game there, and Hasselberg will take a 2-point lead and the hammer into the 5th end. Pretty good place to be if you're Team Hasselberg. Team Tiranzoni's got their work cut out for them. Playing a hit and roll in off the wide one here. All right.
A little surprised at this, just, I guess, not wanting to leave too many yellows around, but it's a while before your red rock's going anywhere.
Buona.
Buona, they like it.
9,5.
Pretty good.
I think it's good.
It looks like they can just hit that, though. Kill the red and roll away and leave the yellow one in a really good spot. Yeah, I don't think that's very good.
Yeah, I'm not
Just touches it.
not convinced it is either, because you can see most of that yellow.
Good leave. Okay, you good with that? Yeah.
Even if you lose your shooter, it's hard to... You need to hit this pretty thin. You don't want it to spin open.
You're
so
right.
a quarter rock or even thinner.
Even if you stuck your shooter somewhere way over in the wings, it would be okay, though. I think you'd probably like to stick it if you could, but the more important part is planting this yellow onto the red and not having it spin.
Don't like the weight call here, Chelsea.
So yeah, that's more weight than I think I'd be throwing at this. You're probably not sticking your shooter with this weight.
No chance. This looks like a board weight shot.
I agree.
If you hit it in the perfect spot, doesn't matter what weight you throw, though. Real thin here. Yeah, it's perfect.
What do we know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not trying to save your shooter, then
yeah. Well,
maybe
that's the thing. Like, I think I would have been trying to, but yeah, I guess you take the guesswork out of it. It just stays right where you throw it, and so makes for an easy line call.
They play that.
I don't know that does a lot for you, Stefania. Out turn freeze on the yellow one, maybe.
Yeah, freeze to the other side.
You could even, I think you could chase that yellow and bump it to the back of the button.
Oh, I think you could, yeah.
Might want to look at that. Freezing on the top yellow, that doesn't do you any good. That is going to lead to a draw for 2 for Danielle later, probably. But there are still 4 rocks left each. We're just getting into the shooter's stones, as I call them, the back rock, the back end rocks, Chelsea. We got sweepers and we got shooters on every team.
That's how it works.
You were a shooter, I was a sweeper.
We got both covered up in the booth, so get both perspectives.
Yeah, like the intern come around then.
Either that or the freeze on the red one.
I think I still like the intern come around because even if we do it there, they're still going to come around it.
I'm good with either.
Yeah.
They are going to play something on this side, and I'm not sure that that's what I would be doing. You could come down here this way.
Yeah, draw it out, Chelsea. Do it.
And either freeze right to this or even try to tap it a little bit back here and have your shooter stay somewhere around there. And I think that gives you more options and a better result. On this side, there's just not really anything that I see being good, unless I guess if you froze to the corner of your own red, that would be a good result. But I'm not sure exactly where they want this. They didn't really indicate, but we are about to find out.
Wherever they want it, they got to sweep it because that's not moving very fast. I think 3-4 is what they're saying.
Yeah,
it's another guard, but that's not the worst. I mean, at least now there's a guard you can go around to the button. If I'm Danielle, I'm a little bit worried now. Beat him in there, though. That's the answer.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Big shot here in this end. And in this game, it's 2-2. Nothing really brewing so far for multiple scores. And if this is made, really good chance for multiple here for Team Inglis. But if this is back button, don't even want to say it out loud, but that would be bad.
That would be a disaster.
I think it will always curl enough, so just get the speed right.
It doesn't even really need to be fully buried either, so I don't think you ever worry much about the line. But this one, oh, it's going to get by, but now it needs to sit down.
Sit. 14-7. That's good.
Pretty good, but I think you can freeze for second shot, and then, holy, that doesn't look like you can make that, but you can. They just did. That looks awful, though, from the hack.
It does look awful from the hack, but...
I'm going to throw the run back. Okay. Maybe the best run back would be into the top yellow, though, and then hit your other red. Kill a couple of yellows. The red would, in the top 4, would squirt over on top of the other one and open it up, and Bob's your uncle.
That was my first thought as well.
Didn't throw it very hard, though.
Several good options, though. They've got. There's lots of ways this can go well.
Tried to play it straight back and stick it, and so close.
Yeah, almost did. Just that tiny little rub.
Left a hole now, though, so the come around's not really a great option for Danielle anymore, because a lot of times it's going to end up in the hole and maybe leave like a double.
Yeah, that's the scary part. I think like if you could ever tuck it around the red, you'd be okay, but that's really hard to do. You needed to finish an awful long way to get by that guard and get all the way over there, so I'm not sure it's possible.
I almost don't mind here.
How do you get there?
It'll curl enough around there.
How do we get 2?
Yeah, I don't think you want to block this draw for 2. I'm thinking about an out-turn top 8 on the other side, just past your 1, so that you can maybe remove that red, and they'll have to deal with that. And
yeah, I don't. If you put this where I think she wants it, I don't. I agree with Kira. I'm not sure how you score 2 then.
Well, and if it's a rock heavy, you're gonna leave an in off like a double for
which is
the lie 2.
The biggest thing you want to avoid is that hole is scary. You don't want to leave her anything she could come off of through the hole there.
Line's great. Play the weight. Yep. Hold the line. Just for line. Just for line. If weight's there, don't sweep. Whoa, 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 whoa. It needs to stop. It needs to stop.
This might come out the other side.
Needs to sit down.
Okay.
Close.
Yeah.
Sto pensando se venire.
It might have stopped just in time.
Dobbiamo stare attenti a non prenderci tanti.
I know I can throw it hard enough through that hole to not hit either of the red guards, and I'm not sure I can throw it hard enough to get through the hole in the house, so that tells me I can make it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's there.
Comunque nose. Abbiamo un po' di margine. Piuttosto andrei per fare questo.
Could run it again, like they liked the run on the last one, so this is a bit more comfortable run.
Yeah, if you clip off your own, it's good. If you go right, or sorry, if you clip off the yellow, it's good. If you go right to your red, it would be good as well. It's like that's what they're gonna do.
Meno ghiaccio, ok. 9 nose. Non è male neanche 2/3.
Remember when they had 20 minutes? Me too. They're gonna end this end with well under 15. They're gonna use more than 5 minutes.
You called it.
Even more so than setting ourselves up. I predict she's going to hit the roll.
Oh, Danielle's making predictions. I predict this goes through the hole, hits the red one, and rolls out, and red lies 1. But it will be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd get to it if that's the case.
We're going to find out what's going to happen. Oh, that was a little fader. That's got a curl.
Pretty close to full 4.
Bomba, yeah. This is into the top yellow. Oh, not even. That's not a good effort from Stefani. You don't see her miss by that much very often.
Do you like tapping it on an angle? Or
The good news for her, Stefania, is it's that red one's really not removable.
No.
Yeah.
And it's still a pretty closed-in scoring area for Danielle to try to find a way in there for a second point.
Yeah. Okay, but if ever we're hanging out, hold that.
No, esatto. Per fortuna non abbiamo toccato.
Yeah, we need to get it there because we need to get it past there for sure.
Yeah, and your shooter will be in the way if you're on the net.
Okay, back here. Okay.
Speed was fine out here.
All right.
Let's see my ice.
So playing the tap on the yellow, I think they were talking about, do we angle it or not?
Well, tap it straight back.
Okay,
we need
straight
to tap
back.
it to at least the T line. Okay.
Straight back. Chelsea, what if she taps it right on the nose, or even crosses it a little bit? Would there ever be like a triple?
Yeah, that's my only concern with this. I think she's thinking if she taps it on the high side, then Stefania might be able to come off of that one into her own, but I think you might still be shot then, so that is less concerning to me than maybe leaving a triple and then you're in trouble.
They don't want to sweep it for weight, but it sounds tight, so.
Vai.
Pretty close, but not second shot.
Yeah, just went a little bit too far.
It's almost like I got it going a hair, so that's why we were both like.
It was scary. It started to come off because it got that curl, so I was like, oh.
It was kind of flirting with that, you know, when we hit the line where it starts curling a lot. That's where I kind of like that much in like.
So it would be possible for Constantini to go through the hole and hit the red and end up shot.
Yeah.
But it's not going to go anywhere, so if it's possible for her to get through and hit it, then it's going to be possible for Danielle as well, and it would be probably for 3. So I don't love that.
Yeah, I think you're pretty happy to give up 1 at this point. You're just looking for how do I take away what's her easiest shot for 2?
That tap that she just played, you can't leave her that, right?
No, I think you got to take that away so you could just guard it.
Yeah.
Perfect weight.
No, perché non so chi è shot. Se io stavo pensando anche di venire tipo un T-line, ma se lo sbaglio allora non tiro per 5. Forse la cosa più safe è questa.
For a while. I don't think they know.
Sì, le lasciamo van per 2. Sì, la prendiamo sull'interno. Ok, Pil.
That means we are.
I think I heard her say peel, so maybe she's playing the double?
Yeah. It really really finishes.
Which double? The straight double?
Yeah.
She's not sure if she shot at the top?
Well, yeah, Kira said they were looking at it a lot and she didn't think that they were sure who was shot, so maybe trying to just hit this just a shade on the low side and make the double and leave your shooter kind of in the way of the draw, maybe?
All right, well, don't hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
The most down.
Yeah, on the overhead it looks
I thought
like
he
it's
threw it, like really nice in the spot.
red, that second for sure, but it seems like on the ice they're a little bit less convinced than we are.
Yeah, if it's red for sure, I like your shot, Chelsea. I like guarding that yellow tap, and there's just no real good shot. You could play it really thin off that yellow and have your shooter come in and jam onto the red. That would be really good.
Yeah, you could.
But if anything goes wrong, you're going to probably give up 2 or 3, maybe even.
Yeah, I just
probably
don't.
Never 4.
I don't really like moving that yellow that's frozen, just because then your red is vulnerable.
There's definitely a shot for 2 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that red's shot by a mile. So this is a draw for 2 for Team Inglis, and in a 2-2 game, a deuce feels like sometimes can feel like 3 or 4, and that's got to feel what this feels like so far. Not a lot of action really, but
Drawing for 2 or 3. Not sure.
really, it's close.
All right. But all I know is we don't want to touch ours.
Again, I haven't been drinking, and that doesn't even look close.
No, it doesn't to me either. And so far, sometimes the overhead can give you kind of a false sense of confidence. But so far this week, I don't know what your experience has been like, Brent, but when it's looked obvious on the overhead, it has always been true to that. So I think if they measure this, we'll see the Red Rock break the stick, maybe.
It looks like that, but yeah, my experience is I'm basically always wrong.
Great. Still running a bit. Line tonight.
Sweepers kind of like it.
Yep, a little. Yes.
Don't want to touch that red.
Yeah, it's really moving. They were
well done by Danielle, and it's 2 points for sure. I don't even think it's a measure, but
Nope, I love it.
Kira's having a good look. They are going to measure, and I think this is a delay of game penalty. Like that yellow one's not even close to half in there, and the red one's almost 3/4 from that angle. But
yeah, from the overhead it doesn't look close, but
even from up here, like looking down. But anyway, what do I know? 2 for sure, so good news for Team Inglis fans.
Yeah.
That'll go a long way to getting them their first win and keeping them alive in this WFG Masters Grand Slam of curling.
It just, as soon as it's hitting like tight, it's just dying, especially that way. Like your side, Kira's
While we're waiting
side,
for the measure, 2-2, Team Gim, Team Kim. Don't forget,
Trust it. Like, just
when you get tired of us, which I know you never will, you can watch any of these games, but they won't have the commentary. But Team Gim, Team Kim are tied at 2 on Sportsnet. We've got a 3-1 lead for Team Hasselberg over Team Tiranzoni.
Oh, I need another water bottle.
But Hasselberg in a little bit of trouble here. A perfect draw here from Alina will set up a potential steal. Lots of kickers, though. If it doesn't go well, it's going to be handshakes.
yeah, it's probably either a steal or game over by the look of it there.
Okay,
So here we go. Watch how hard this hits. Look out. Oh, it is. No, that's drilling it.
Yeah.
It's closer than I thought by a mile, but it's going to be 2 for Team Inglis and a 4-2 lead after 5 ends. We will come back right after this to see what Team Constantini has with the hammer and 6.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Welcome back inside the Sleeman Center. Brent Lang joined by Chelsea Carey, bringing you the ladies draw action. 4 games. Our feature game, Team Inglis, Team Constantini. Best 16 ladies and best 16 men's teams in the world. Battling it out for a Grand Slam title. these are the best events in the world. We just decided that, right, Chelsea?
Absolutely.
Kind of been the case for a long time.
It sure has, yeah.
Nowhere else is it absolute best on best. World Championships, there's only one from each country. But we've got definitely two of the top 10 teams playing. They're both from Korea over there, so that can't happen at a World Championship.
Yeah, same with on the men's side, you got White and Mount that couldn't both be there.
I'm just happy there's a place where Ross White and his top 5, they're not ranked top 5, but I still think they are a top 5 team in the world, where they actually get to compete against the world's best. Just
for sure.
Living too close to Bruce Mao, it should not cost you that much.
No, and it is one of those things I know we went through it at the hands of Jen for a lot of years out of Manitoba, and we actually went through a direct berth straight to the Olympic trials before we went to our first Scotties.
That's kind of crazy.
That's insane. And we were, at one point, Jen was #1 in the world. We were #3, and Kathy Overton-Clapham, who was also in Manitoba, was #5. There was 3 of the top 5 teams in the world in the same province. So only one of those teams at the time, before wildcard berths, was going to the Scotties.
It's just one more reason why the slams are the best. I mean, back in the 90s, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school. Oh, no, I know I'm not. Rich Hart and Mike Harris, Colin Mitchell, and George Carey's won the Olympic trials and were Olympians before they ever competed in a Canadian championship.
Yep, and that could have easily been us too, and that's just insane. Like that's.
And that's just because of Wayne Middaugh, Russ Howard, and Ed Wernick.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, they were probably 4th best.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets crazy.
So 2 high guards to start.
I hit high.
Not usually on purpose.
No, I wouldn't think that those were exactly where they were called.
I think with the people in here, there was a big crowd in for Anderson and Team Holman. And that game, did you see the end of that game? That got wild.
No, I didn't.
I'm going to seek out Team Holman later and ask them to watch that last end with me and run me through it. I didn't see how it got there, but I was just like, what is going on here?
I saw
guarding for your life up 3. I mean, I love to watch it from up here.
I saw the score and I didn't even watch the end of it. I just assumed it was over.
No, it was not, but that's why curling's so great. It can switch on a dime so quickly, especially the 5-rock rule. But there's an unforced error by Team Constantini, and it's an unforced error, but what do you like to call it? Is that not the George Carey's 3, the
Donnie B 3.
Donnie B 3. Back 8. We don't have to worry about this rock, do we? No, ignore it.
Yeah, that works better if there's not already a yellow rock on the button.
True.
Now she's throwing
we'll
again.
See. We'll see. Probably want this one right in there. But this Stefania, because that center guard's so high, whatever goes in the house here, they can move it around. And this is that situation I was talking about earlier where Danielle thinks she's in control, but maybe I'm going to flip the switch. Oh, they are throwing another guard.
16. Good call.
Intern, though, you can bump that.
I think they wanted that top house. I think it was maybe just a little bit light.
I like the intern bump here.
I do too.
Get to the nose, even if you jam it on the back red one. So what? Get some action here.
Probably not super easy with that port though. Like get by that red rock and then you got to get by the yellow. It's probably there, but
sometimes I find those make it easier. Like
yeah, it sort of frames it up.
There with back line, good.
If you get through that port, you're making it.
So is Danielle going to double peel here? I hate to say it, but I would. Yes. Double centers. Keep the foot on the gas. That one, unfortunately, didn't make the double and rolled to take away the hole. You can't chase shot rock on the intern side now, so that makes this guard a little bit easier, a little bit simpler to throw.
Yeah, you could. This would be one where my brain knows I should probably throw the double peel, but my heart really doesn't want to. It's too tempting. You're set up so nicely, and like you said, now there is no chase.
Yep, hard. Yep, hard. Cass, let me in. Not too deep, though. Not too deep.
Danielle likes to sweep. She comes out and takes over a lot. Did you do that, Chelsea, when you were skipping?
No.
Some do, some don't. You know who does the transition extremely well, better than anybody? Oscar comes out and takes the rock, comes around the guys and takes tight and finishes it up. That makes so much sense to me because I don't care how fit you are. You have to sweep for 25 seconds. You can't do it as strong as Oscar can at the end for 5 or 6.
Oh, 100%. Well, and I think, like you see Caitlin Laws do it sometimes too, who's also a really good sweeper, so she'll come out and do it. Your skip needs to be a good enough sweeper, or the person in the house
What are you saying?
needs to be a good enough sweeper. Well, I'm saying I didn't do it very much.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just curious. Just want some clarity. Almost a double peel, but not a double peel, and big trouble now. They did open up the hole. I don't hate just putting it in the hole for now.
I agree.
That's going to overcurl almost every time if you draw in the house through there, and they're going to have a hit and roll to lie 2.
Yeah, I think you just plug the hole. It's a pretty good situation for you right now.
Can go there. Yeah, it needs to be high.
I like that. Yeah, the only year I really did it was at Worlds, the first Broomgate year, because you had 4 fresh sharp heads.
Oh, right.
So
right.
One of my sweepers would have the sharp head, so then they're not going to sweep and dull the head. So you'd hear Amy Nixon yelling at me to come help it while she walked beside the rock. It was just insane.
Is that 15 or 16? 15.
16. Well, yeah, it started but it was the 2015-2016 season, so Worlds was March
Worlds
of 16.
2016, yeah. Yeah, we had the same.
Yeah, you guys were the same.
We went to the Worlds, the meeting, and us and Team Adine and Team Ulsrud, and we said, you can't let us have extra heads. We each need 1 head per game max. WCF said, nope, this is the rules. You get like 8.
Yep, that's perfect.
So we just had brooms everywhere.
16.
Well, and I couldn't believe that it was like
It's like, that's good. You really want to bounce.
you couldn't switch brooms with the other players at the Scotties, so you wouldn't have 4 totally fresh heads, but at Worlds you could. So we'd be swapping brooms between every end based on which one was the sharpest, and I would take the dull one in the house, and it was just nuts.
Yeah.
So you can see there, there's no way to get shot rock, and that was a pretty simple guard.
She was
Constantini needs to make a double peel here, spin the shooter up maybe. Still going to be in big trouble though.
Yeah, it's a pretty makeable double peel, but then at least you force Team Inglis to make a slightly more precise guard than the one they just had to throw. It was really not very difficult because you're just trying to cover what's already a pretty small hole.
Good shot there, well done. Those red ones are so high though, if that's your angle raises. Yikes.
The hit on the back ones are not easy.
Danielle needs to make a good guard here though.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of pressure because you know that she's going to chase it if you don't make it.
Oof, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think if I'm Constantini, I like that because then I can hit and roll behind the corner. Or...
Well, and she has to make it. And even if she makes it, you're in better shape. I don't think you can. I mean,
there's always a chase.
I suppose you can, but I don't think I would be throwing that.
Either tap to there or straight draw.
Okay.
I think the tap. Okay.
I like the guard. Why don't they like the guard, do you think, Chelsea?
I don't know. I guess they're afraid of leaving the chase, but they've thrown it a few times. They should know what it's going to do there. I'd be throwing a guard, tight guard.
And as long as you don't leave the chase on the broom side. Like,
exactly, yeah.
At least the intern side, it's going to jam or they're going to roll out, and it's going to be a yellow tight guard, usable.
Well, and it's hard to leave the intern chase because of where those red guards are. So as long as you don't over curl the out turn, you're in pretty good shape with the guard. But they are going to play this little tap, I think.
4 very happy curlers on this sheet right now, and that's the Italian team.
Agreed.
I'd be excited. This could turn into a deuce out of nowhere.
Keep going. Whoa. Straight. Whoa. Sit. 13-1. Okay.
Ooh, that's not second shot.
It is not.
That's an unforced error. Very close to perfect. It's a tough shot that doesn't get you an awesome result. I hate playing those.
Yeah.
If it's going to be really hard, it better be really, really good if we make it. And that was going to be pretty good. It was going to be okay.
Yeah. But the guard seemed like an easier shot with a better result.
I know this is way harder, but I like rolling behind the yellow one, I think.
It's like as soon as it
Yeah, you're going to jam it is the only problem, aren't you?
You might be able to put it through the hole or just tickle off the yellow and squeak it through. And even if you do jam, as long as you make the roll.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be able to get it through the middle and still make the roll with a little bit of weight.
Pick the right weight. Looks like maybe, I don't know, even just board.
Yeah, I was thinking
3/4,
10 and a half or something, yeah.
I mean, if they get a roll.
Yeah,
roll the other way, you're going way behind the tee line.
That's what I was just going to say. To not jam it, you have to go roll so big that it's hard to not be behind the tee line. And then you force Danielle to make a draw. And if she makes it, you're not very happy.
This is where if I'm Elena, I'm thinking, okay, this is it. This is the shot that's going to get us back in this game and get us maybe even a 3 set up now.
Yeah, this is a huge swing shot because it was all Team Inglis early, momentum-wise in this end. And it could all change here with a good shot from Elena.
It's got a curl. Oh, this is really close. What was that? Oh, just like that, and that is just pure precision.
Play the short run.
Where's the short run?
It doesn't look that short, does it?
That's not, the short runs for me were top 4 to button.
I mean, the smart one.
But you kind of have to run it, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. There's not really a great place to draw, and those reds are so long that A, it's hard to be shot buried under there, and B, even if you are, I think she could chase it.
Oh, this has got to feel real bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't imagine it's what you thought you'd be looking at a few shots ago.
Danielle, you can see taking almost negative ice, nose or out turn, and these are running very straight.
Yeah.
Right on the nose. She could make the run double.
They come around and then I'm still throwing.
Yeah, that would turn it back around again.
Yeah.
So that's what Danielle's saying. If I hit the back, they're just going to come around again because you're not going to be shot.
Yeah, I think she's right.
All of a sudden, this is the first real pressure on Team Inglis. See if Danielle can come up with the goods here. Dead nose hit, run double. Bail her team out of trouble.
Must be close. Really close.
Oh, a little bit overcooked it, but that takes 3 out of play.
Yeah, it's still a good result. It was so close to perfect, but it was a lot of pressure just to make some noise back there.
A great shot by Danielle. She's playing a great game tonight, making a lot of shots, but I say it takes 3 out of play because if they make a good come around, you can just hit the back one.
Yes.
But if they make kind of an average come around, you might chase, and then the feather tick would possibly bring 3 back.
Would it end up clocking? Yeah.
Pieno 5. Sempre uguale qua. Allora vado
Drawn around the red one here, need to be in front of the tee line.
Yeah.
Would love to stay close enough to the 4-foot that the hit at the back isn't even shot. But needs to be buried enough that you can't hit and roll in front of those. So.
Yeah, even if you over curled this, I don't think Danielle's going to throw a draw. I think she's going to hit that open one. So that's probably the smarter miss rather than leaving her a piece and maybe allowing her some chance to roll in front of the little bit of a wall that's going on back there.
First skip stone for Team Constantini in the 6th end, and a big draw. This is made. Probably Team Inglis is going to have to give her an open shot for 2.
I think so.
That didn't look very hard. They're not too worried yet, though.
No, the sweepers seem to like it. I agree with you. It didn't look very hard to me either, but it's not moving at all, really.
Must be heavy. Freeze it on the yellow? Sneaky? I would stop carving that and just hold it straight on the yellow. Interesting spot.
That's exactly what you said. You might bring the 3 back into play by throwing a chase here.
There's no double. There's
You can't give up a 3. Yeah.
Okay.
just going to hit the back one. Discipline.
Yes, that's a good word for it because it's really tempting, but there's not even really a great place for you to roll on the hit, and you have to avoid the jam on both of your back yellow rocks. So that I think the smart call. With a 2-point lead, you kind of take your medicine on this one and give them the 2 and take the hammer into 7.
Another word for it is scar tissue. I've been here before, and I was cut.
Okay.
Hit and stay on the back one. At least make her either draw the 4-foot again or hit and stay back in the 8-foot. And take the hammer in a tie game to 7.
Yeah. Just keep it clean the whole way. Whoa, clean.
Yeah, it's
didn't even want to stay.
That's
Interesting.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's
If
just
it
going to throw the
wasn't,
same draw
yeah.
anyway, so. All that for a draw for 2 for Stefania Constantini
Maybe, but
to tie this game up at 4. And they're down to, they'll be down under 9 minutes before she lets this go. The last end they did take 7 minutes. This one was much, much faster. 9 minutes is lots of time. I don't think, nobody's taken a timeout yet.
I don't think so, no.
So they each still have 2 timeouts? That's what those 2 little stars are beside their name on the fancy scoreboards. Yeah, she takes a full, I would say 45 seconds in the hack.
I mean, on the other hand, like.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, most skips have a reasonably long pre-shot routine, but the longer it is, the more you just stress yourself out for time because the rest of your game has to move that much faster.
Well, and she's got to throw 16 shots, but final stone here in the 6th end. And if you do the math on 16 shots at 3/4 of a minute,
yep,
that's too many.
Yes.
That's 12 minutes of your 33 just on your skip, just throwing, not even calling
Not
the
even,
shots.
yeah, not even the discussions.
But she makes a ton of shots, so.
And she makes it work.
And she makes this one too. So we've got a tie game, Chelsea, and we're going to take a quick break here and come back for 7th end action where Team Inglis will have the hammer. One of these teams looking to stay alive. The other one looking to change their flights. I guess no flights for Inglis, but we'll be right back.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Welcome back to a tight battle between Team Constantini and Team Inglis. Brent Lang and Chelsea Carey bringing you the action tonight. While our colleagues, John Cullen is off bowling with Team Homan, I think, or was Team Homan and Team Jacobs, getting some GSOC content, getting to know the players this year better than ever, and that was a huge mandate of the new curling group. Promote the players so you can find somebody that, you know, you relate to, or maybe it's total opposite of you and you just like following them that way. But getting to learn a lot about the players, and Tyler George is off fixing a slight broom problem I've heard of.
It's a minor inconvenience.
Should we be nervous that Tyler's fixing it?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Line's great, play the weight.
Center guard from Constantini. The no blank rule, no back-to-back blank rule here is gone. Well, not officially gone. I guess you could blank 7 and 8 and lose the hammer for the extra. But not a concern
That would
here.
be
This
wild.
this is just straight up traditional. This is light. Didn't want to do that.
Rub off, yep. 16-2.
So an unforced error there from Cassandra. We've been talking about her rocks a lot. It is a challenge when you have mismatched rocks to get the speed in line right. So, but Angela Romay, chance to intern draw to the button. They would love to force Team Inglis to 1 here and have the hammer coming home down 1, or probably even better. I think most teams now, and as the stats say, a steal of 1 would be great, but I think carving this one because it's cruising.
Facciamo dove arriva.
Yeah, it sure is.
Ok, Angie. 14-20.
So passing chances back and forth here to start this 7th end. See if Cassandra can put this one in a better spot. Just full 4-foot probably ideal here, hey Brent?
Yeah, I think so. And wherever it is, I think Team Constantini will freeze on it. So don't want this on the button, but it needs to be shot rocks. It needs to be very precise here.
Okay, play the
They've
weight. Line
Cassandra just needs to make the adjustment from the first one. Different side here too. Sometimes the speed is different from side to side depending on how often you've played, how many rocks have been down here. This is the most played path on the sheet, I would say.
Make sure. Starting to really bend.
Yeah, they've thrown this a bunch. It probably does have a little bit more curl than the other side, so if anything, maybe a tiny bit slower.
Did they lose it? They lost it.
Dies. 15.
So red is shot. I don't think it changed anything. I think you still now, instead of freezing on the nose, if you're Constantini, you want to freeze maybe on half of it.
Yeah, right where the broom is. Even if you miss this a little bit short, as long as you can still access it, it lines up a pretty good angle for you onto that yellow.
Aspetta. No, Angie, no. Linea no.
Stefania thinks this one's got this one. Marta got this one a little bit wide.
Va bene.
But again, I think
Angie.
we haven't seen any with really good weight not curl enough, have we, Chelsea?
No, and certainly not in this spot. There's tons of late finish, so line less of a concern than the speed, but
you can see why they wanted to sweep that. It was light.
Well, and that could be because it was in a wider path potentially too, right? Sometimes if you get out a little wider to a place maybe they haven't thrown in a long time or at all this game, it could have just hit some fresh pebble, but they did want to sweep that right away, so probably just a little light out of her hand.
Sorry, non avevo gamba.
Double peel on the reds. Calissa Daly can throw that same spot she made that thin slash. Sounded tight right away.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doubling.
Nope.
Ooh.
Okay.
Line up. Oh.
Ooh, interesting.
That lined up pretty fancy.
There's not really much separation, so I think you could drag that if you wanted to.
Center guard coming from Team Constantini.
Buona. Buona.
Well, they just want this one right back in the hole. Same depth as the two yellows. Makes the double or triple peels extra hard.
Oh. Ele. Oh, 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 ele.
The Sportsnet feature, Team Hasselberg did give up a steal to Team Tiranzoni in 5, so. Ooh, but they got her there. It looks like 3 yellows and a 6-2 lead.
I like this one.
That's a little higher than they wanted. This leaves a couple of options for double peels. I might throw this peel into the stagger and maybe get it dragging back and kill that top.
Yeah, and I don't think you like that stagger the way it is, so even if it doesn't kill anything in the house, just unlock those two at least.
This double peel's helpful too. Maybe get it coming back in the house. No, sir.
Okay.
I think a lot of teams, Chelsea, I don't know how you feel, but not a lot of teams out here, because everything they do out here is, is supposed to be super precise and they're trying to draw to a spot, but on guards we can get lazy.
Yes, definitely, and I think that's, I know it's a thing that my teams have talked about in the past is I'll walk up and put my broom down and you try to sweep it right to that because it's super easy to get, it's close enough, and then you walk back and take a look and you're like, oh shoot, we left them this side or now they have the chase or whatever, and it's just for lack of focus basically.
Right on cue, there's a hole.
There is a large hole.
And if that, to my point, if that's 6 or 7 feet heavier, it probably is on the right line. Get it some more curl out of it and get it over to the center line. But big shot, Kira Brunton, right on the nose to lie 2. You might be able to roll a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to roll a little bit and spill the back one a little bit as well. But main thing is to make that red go away.
Sounds good.
It does.
Okay.
And is it right in the hole that makes the double hard? Like, is the jam kind of automatic? It looked like a bigger hole than that, though, eh?
Yeah, I don't think it's automatic. Yeah, you've got room to make it.
Is that spot if you put a broom to it?
Out turn just across the face, double and roll under those 3 guards.
Well, I was actually, because when it gets to the center, it would go.
Need another big shot from Elena. They got it from her last end. That's coming with ease.
She's set that a little bit too.
Other way.
Oh! Okay.
That was smoking. And hangs on, and I think Danielle's got to ignore that. Okay, I don't think that if it comes down to it and you're lying one out here in the wings, I think Stefani's going to draw around those triple guards.
Yeah, I think she has to. I think you'd rather give up two than give up the blank probably, right? So
for sure, and then risking a chance at stealing, which flips the game into your favor.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you want a blank, but I just don't think it's not set up for that.
Close, clean,
It's possible, but there's a lot of guards.
Yeah. And staggered guards. Like it's not even, you don't even have to be as perfect because the guards are that little bit offset.
Oh, and we're going to roll behind the guards behind the tee line. Oh, boy. It's at least in the hole.
It's in the hole, though.
I'm interested to see if Stefani's going to hit that. I think she could actually freeze on it, as silly as that sounds, but I think you just want to come around top 4 foot.
I think you could freeze on it if you wanted to. You almost probably could do it both ways.
Either turn.
Yeah.
Out turn looks a lot easier.
Yes, definitely, but.
Yeah, I think it probably is close to there, but this is the shot I like.
I felt like on your first one, like,
Un po' aperta. Piuttosto queste rimanere aperte.
Esatto.
Qua così.
Having to go out wider than we've seen.
Okay, mezzo sei.
Yeah, and they did have the one that was in the wider path come up well short, but we're not sure if it was thrown that light or if that was a product of the path, but I imagine they'll be talking about that in the hack.
Did watch Elena through that high guard. That's the same line you want to be on.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't notice where they had the broom for the guard, but there's no way it was out there.
No, no, this is more ice than that for sure.
Okay. Quindi un 15 arriva.
It does really curl at the end here, though. From all the rocks we've seen come into the house, it seems to really curl and die as it comes in.
First skip stone of the 7th end, and pressure is on young Stefania Constantini.
Buona.
Sì.
The other thing about Stefania, she looks unflappable. Like there's not a lot of emotion one way or the other. It just looks like a stone cold killer to me.
Yeah, you never know if she's up 4, down 4. There's no change in emotion, no change in body language, nothing.
I think they're sweeping this a little too early. It's still cruising.
Yeah, sweeping it to get it to curl now, but going to be all the way to the tee line, backside of the tee line even.
I think they could have managed that differently and had that top 4 foot and even got a little bit more curl if they did it a little later, a little more patience.
Yeah, they swept it right out of her hand. It looked like for speed, and she said hard out of her hand as well, so I don't know if she thought she was tight or light, but also didn't use the plow. Like most of the teams out here, if you think the line's close but it's light, you would plow it. So went straight to the sweeping and killed the line a bit, and it slid further than they even wanted it to.
Danielle knows she can chase this. It's not going to look awesome from the hack, but back line get even within probably 6 inches of that guard, and she'll be able to nose it.
For sure.
These shots, Chelsea, are all about the speed. This is I know it's a line shot, but if you don't have the right speed, you'll never get the right line.
No, it's for sure. It's more a speed putt kind of a feel than a line shot, just in the sense that, yeah, if your weight's close, it's probably always going to end up in a pretty good spot. If you have the right line and the wrong weight, you have no chance.
So Danielle Inglis looking to set up a possible multiple score, at least 2. They don't seem super excited yet.
Oh, I said, whoa, what a hand, and this looks all there for weight.
I said 6 inches. That's a couple of feet. That's just overthrown and wide. That's quite heavy.
Ok, stesso tiro.
Danielle won't be happy with that, and she's the first one. You gotta love that about Danielle. She's the first one to take the blame and say that's just too heavy. Sorry.
Yeah. She said she just
knew
kicked
that.
too hard, and that happens to the best of us. And the problem is, if you overkick, it's hard to make an adjustment. If you kick too light, you can add some weight. If you kick too hard and try to pull the weight off, A, it's harder to do, and B, it's nearly impossible to get the line right when you do that.
Two things you cannot do when you're shooting in curling. One is slide too hard, and the other one is slide wide of the broom. Both will lead to very low chance of success.
Yeah. Well, and the challenge is, and this was, I know it was beat into my head as a kid, the challenge is even if you somehow made the shot, then you have no idea how to make the next one. The sweepers don't, the thrower doesn't, the skip doesn't. Nobody knows what's going on because it's such an unreadable way to throw a rock if you have to hook the release a bit or if you have to drag down the speed to compensate for overkicking. So always want to err on the side of sliding a little tight and on the side of sliding too light, if anything.
So same shot here for Stefania and a chance to just really turn the screws here. Put another one right in the 4-foot buried. And what do you think Danielle will play?
She might be able to throw that out-turn draw to the side of the button.
Out-turn run back double for two?
You
Risk
could.
it all?
You could.
Push him in the middle?
It's a better result, and it might not be that much harder than the draw. It's hard to tell from here how wide she would have to go to make that or if she could even get it to curl that much.
This looks heavy. She's not going to bounce and give him a double, is she? Oh, boy.
Elena on the carve here, trying to get this to walk
You
over.
want to go straight here and chip and go.
Yeah, roll a shooter off as much as you can.
Okay. Not okay, but okay. That's just getting straighter and faster. We have seen that a little bit, but that's an out-turn chase now. At least changed her shot.
I think worth a try because if you give up a steal of one, you're not that upset.
That's worth a try. That's very makeable.
And
She
worst
knows
case
this spot, too. This is the intern. She threw the hit and roll, and she says once it gets to the line, it really goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Kira is pointing out. And
It will run this side of the line, though, for a bit. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, right about
Yeah, this is basically risk-free. You're drawing for one, you're not that happy, but if you give up a steal of one, it's not the end of the world. And if you ever get two, it's just so good that you have to take the risk on this one, whatever little risk there is. I think worth it. And to your point, Brent, the guard's pretty long, and this spot does curl once it gets off the center line, so very makeable shot here.
Yeah.
A couple of big misses in a row from both skips.
did not expect either, but I really didn't expect it from Stefania, who had just thrown the exact shot.
Yeah, for sure. And her first one they thought was this. Sort of swept it early, and then it slid, and then this one was just heavy the whole way, and they tried really hard to carve it and get it to walk over, and even that didn't take the speed off of it.
Here we go, final shot, seventh end. This shot's going to go a long way in determining who's going to win this game. This looks pretty good.
Whoa.
Did they overcook it?
Yeah, they did. It's going to get to it. Will she stick?
Cash money, baby. That's 2 on the board for Danielle Inglis. Had it the whole time.
Never a doubt.
Up 2 coming home. Team Italy will be looking for at least a deuce when we come back after this quick break.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Welcome back to the 8th end action. Team Constantini, Team Inglis. First half of the game was a little bit sleepy. Trading singles, 1-1-1-1. Second half, 2-2-2. We're going extra end, Chelsea. I'm good at patterns. And the next thing that's going to happen is a 2 for red.
That does seem like it would track with the pattern that we see developing on the scoreboard here.
Stay close. Yep, 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 yep.
Good start there. Cassandra got that one exactly where they want it. And Stefani's going to throw a center guard.
Interesting.
I don't think I would, but it's nothing wrong with it. I don't think they're going to chip your corner guard. I guess through a tight corner guard, they might chip it in the rings. But they're only up 2, so I don't think that's really a real risk.
I don't think so either. I think I'd still be throwing a corner, but that is the challenge with the no-tick rule, is that it doesn't solve the corner guard tick.
Don't touch guards until 5 rocks have been thrown.
Yeah, no guard. No ticks on anything.
No touch. It's called the no touch
no
rule.
touch rule, yeah. I like it.
Didn't get to the center line, but I don't think it matters. Danielle's just going to throw another one in there, right?
3.
Our center guard is fine, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even need to. I'm not even sure you want to be in. I think tight guard a corner around that red one, and you're pretty happy.
We've got our first final. Team Kim takes out Team Gim. And hopefully Chelsea knows what their records are.
I don't.
GSOC app. Hey Siri,
Yeah.
GSOC.
Going straight to the GSOC app.
2 teams that are always in the mix, so
Take a look. Stay with it though. At the end, it'll be Calissa's.
Kim is now 3-0, and Gim is now 0-3.
Whoa! I did not see that one coming.
Yep, 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 yep.
Big
yep,
win
yep,
for
yep,
Kim.
yep, yep.
Unfortunate loss for
15-5.
Gim, however.
Yeah, so Team Kim most likely books their playoff spot with that victory.
So now going around for a freeze, I assume. Not super familiar with this. I've seen this before with the hammer throwing center guards, but not generally down 2. That's usually when you're down a few more and thinking you're going to go around everything and use that top 4-foot one as a guard. So you want them to have to peel the guard in front of it so you can get 2 behind it. But
Yeah, I've never seen it when the score's this close either. It's usually more a desperation thing when you're down 3 or 4 kind of thing. But
a little short there from Angela, but that's in a very usable spot. And
You just leave that there for them. Is that or even back here? Do you want to call?
yeah, this end's they're gonna use all their time here. This is a big end, obviously, and it's a bit of a. Most of the time you know what you're doing in the last end, but this isn't a normal last end now that they threw a center guard.
Yeah, well, and that's sometimes.
That could be the confusion
Yeah,
play.
well, honestly, and sometimes there's something to be said for that. You can, if you come up with something unconventional, and especially if it's a team, if you're a team who, is respected from a strategy perspective, then the other team goes, what am I missing here? And then you could just get in your own head a little bit.
Yeah. How much do you have of that red? Can you just pick it?
Whoa, that's a tough shot.
It's not.
More often than not, you make that for her.
Spot. I don't love throwing that spot. I don't even mind play to here with that nice tap.
You'd guard the red one.
That was my first thought. Then she makes the run back, and your guard's kind of your problem, but you still have the whole house to draw to and a guard to draw around.
I'd like to draw to where Danielle's broom is, back 4 foot.
Yeah, I like that too.
No.
Update for sheet D, sheet Delta. We've got Team Xenia Schwaller forced to 1 in the 7th end, so they'll be trailing by 2 coming home
And then just get a baby tap.
against Team Kitazawa. And more handshakes on the feature match. We're going to be the only show in town soon, Chelsea. It is 6-2 coming to 7. I don't know what happened there, but it doesn't matter. It's a victory for Team Hasselborg, and a big one at that, moving them to 3-0.
But this is also really good.
And Agnes wore the hat cam. That's pretty cool to see the Sellies.
Yeah. Okay. Like it.
And Team Tiranzoni will fall to 2-1, so we'll need a win tomorrow to guarantee their place in the playoffs. What did we decide on our sheet, Chels?
No,
not sure.
I thought I saw a squirrel over there, so I got distracted. Doesn't take much. Just playing intern. Are they tapping the guard?
Top button.
Up button.
That would be the wait for the tap. That can't be the ice for the come
I
around.
wouldn't think so, but
Calissa Daly going to show us.
yeah, we're about to find out.
Whoa.
They're playing the tap.
Stay close. Clean. Yep.
Really good shot if you can make it.
Weight's good. Yep.
A lot harder than the come around.
Hard line.
This looks really good.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Ah. 13-7.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not that bad. It's would have liked it to curl a little less, but where they rolled the guard to, you can't run the guard into it, and I don't think you can kill both yellows either. So I think that's reasonably
Until they
good.
nose it.
I just don't know why you wouldn't just draw there, though. That seems like a way harder way to get a pretty similar result.
Fair question.
Yeah.
Just missed the sweep call. Perfectly thrown. That's part of what makes those so hard. That you throw them perfect and you still don't make them all the time because it's such a hard line call.
Yeah, the line and the weight just have to be so married, and then you have to know if it's a foot or two heavy, then the line call's totally different. So then the sweepers better be really accurate with their judgment on where it is and all that. There's just so many different elements with taps that they look easy, and I see people play them all the time, and I go, man, you don't think that's hard? I think that's hard.
We got a timeout here. Team Constantini, Soren Graham's coming out. I think you got to hit that.
What?
I do too.
Yeah.
Speak up, Soren.
It's an option coming here.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But the shot is to tap this a little bit or just freeze tap? Like 12? Maybe we can go in with the...
Why are we doing that? That's way harder
But
than
then
just doing the
if we
exact
do
same
this,
shot on the yellow and killing the
maybe
yellow,
they do
stay
the
on top of
double.
the yellow. Even if you roll off.
If we do this, they do the double.
Yeah, rolling off isn't that bad. I think it's hard to get to the nose with enough weight to kill the back one, is
Yeah.
what they're saying. But even if you
jam it and roll wide and lie second and third.
just stick your shooter in the house somewhere and kill a
Yeah.
yellow and pressure's on.
So here is not an option, or play here something. Ok. Allora ha detto 13, no? 13.
I think that,
2 terzi.
I mean, this is a decent shot, but your problem, Rock, is the one that you're going to leave the one dead buried on the top forefoot.
Yep.
If you hit second shot and roll wide, you're going to kill it. It's going to jam there. It's going to stay accessible. You're going to roll wide, and you're not going to allow Danielle to throw a guard or peel a guard. Those are the two things you don't want her to do, I think.
Agreed.
She's going to have to deal with one of the ones in the house, and this red one's still going to be there as well.
Yeah, like this was a shot I saw coming eventually. I just don't think it's yet.
Might have to fire another coach. Jeff was fired yesterday.
We're making all their personnel decisions, and
Oh, we can do whatever we want here. We got no rules.
the rules are there are no rules.
Sì. Devi andare.
This one looks tight. Want to hit this and roll your shooter wide. Needs to end up in the rings. That's not in the rings.
Fermati. Ok, Marta.
Got shot rock.
Yeah, could be worse.
Really hard to hit those yellows now because it hits your red.
They're running that one or taking that.
I would freeze
Yeah.
another one on the
Yeah,
yellows.
either one. Okay,
Yeah.
firm.
Even bump it a little, but we're running. What's going on here?
He's running it onto the red.
Okay, make some noise.
Yeah, this is really scary.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
She set that backwards a bit.
Thin enough off the back of the red. Audible.
Yep, 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 yep,
Oh,
yep.
Danielle heard me.
Off the red. Okay. Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it worked out not bad, actually.
Nice call. Thanks.
Did lose your
Now what?
Your yellow guard,
that was
though,
just
but
not a good call.
No.
See, they freeze that one in there. We can play the slash right
Say.
there. Do you like playing with her? Which slash? Like if they...
Well, and your angle's messed up now. It was lined up so nicely onto the red, and now you can't really do anything with those 2 yellows to kill that red. You could straight tap them to get shot rock, but you're never getting to that red one, and that's a scary rock for Danielle Inglis.
No, è buona.
This is probably the right call, but the problem with it is that yellow one is open. And you're just going to slash it in there, aren't you, and kill both reds? You have to start over. You're going to bump this behind the yellows. All right.
That's probably better, actually, than the shot she called, because now you can't lose them both, I don't think, with the slash, can you?
No, I like that back 4-foot red rock. I don't think there's a double.
Yeah. Peel and then they tap.
You could play a chase too, and you have to play it pretty quiet, but like say even hack weight. Problem is you're probably not killing either reds, then it gets a little bit scary.
Yeah, either that or the peel. I'm good with both. Yeah. Because that right into there and sitting there is pretty good too. Yeah, we still leave a pocket for them to freeze. Yeah. I like the peel. Okay. Peel.
Deal. Okay.
I was thinking, being that there's a double on the 2 reds, but you're going to see a steady diet of guards, I would think.
Interesting situation.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Off, off. Okay, got it. Okay.
Non so se mi piace.
A little scared for a minute there, but no mistake. So she makes the peel. So now where do you go if you're Stefania Constantini?
I don't know.
Se invece veniamo qua, questa è sempre incastrata e questa
That would be pretty good, though.
Sì, perché loro non ci possono tirare. La guardia non mi fa impazzire. Forse qua. 5.
Yeah, no, it's in a great position.
Even if you corner froze the yellow, it probably isn't terrible, but if you could ever get into the pocket, the top yellow, I mean, but if you could ever get into the pocket, it's
I think this is
really
the only
good.
real call.
Yeah, I think so too. Don't see much else. I mean, you could straight guard it. I think that's the only other.
Yeah, and then eventually, though, I think Danielle's going to guard. You can't get shot rock out.
For sure. It's not. It's. I think it's one guard.
It's a temporary
at most.
solution, you're saying, eh?
Yeah. Make her waste it. If she's going to peel, then she probably peels again for now, and then eventually play this later. But I think this is probably the call. It just gives her Danielle more chances to blast some reds out of there.
This line looks really good. Don't be heavy. If this weight's good, this is money. Hello. That's pretty good.
Really good.
Could have used a little bit more curl, but
14-8.
Yeah, you can't kill more than 1 red, though, I don't think, no matter what you do.
that's the only way to do it, and you're going to roll off your shooter, and this is getting interesting. I'm going to sit down again. I've had the Jimmy legs, so I've been walking around, but I got a cord on my headset, so I can't go far.
I know, I've been doing the same thing, and it's like a leash I get every so often. I feel it tug a little bit, and I'm like, oh, tried to go too far.
Probably in my best interest. Yeah. Have a leash, actually. So Kira Brunton trying to hit thin, stay on it, I guess, which is really thin. Kill 1 red. Still going to have Team Constantini with 2 in the rings and shooting late in the end, down 2.
Uh-oh.
Hard, right up, hard.
Not going to get it thin, but we'll kill 1 red.
Così le togliamo questa doppia.
So they're second and third.
Sì, che se ci incastriamo qua loro fanno la doppia 100%.
Trying to find a way not to leave her that red double.
Yeah.
Da andare un po' sotto. Non mi dispiace, però
so che è difficile,
esatto.
Però almeno dobbiamo cercare di fare 2, secondo me, in qualche modo. Se loro continuano ad aprire,
no, esatto, cioè
almeno ci assicuriamo i 2.
Se noi facciamo questo, loro cosa fanno secondo te?
One up there, okay, and then she's going to try to cross the top, though.
Yeah, you might leave a triple if you do that.
What if you corner froze? Same shot you just played. Oh, no. We're calling Soren in again. I'm just kidding. What if you corner froze on that red one again? Like almost where her broom is, on the corner of the red. Other side.
Other side.
Yep.
Però, bah,
like the same shot you just played, just there's no pocket anymore. But if it's right
Where?
there, where's the double on the reds?
Yeah, you can kill this one. This one will go out here, but this
option.
one's always just going to jam right there on that yellow. That's pretty good.
And if it overcurled and froze right on shot rock, she's got one chance to make the double. If she misses it, you might have a chance at 3.
Well, and then you're still at least getting your 2 if you do that. Like, that was my first thought, because then if she makes the double, you at least still have a way to get your 2 potentially.
Well, they turned up
But
Soren's
they
microphone.
do
Nicely
this
done,
double.
home team.
And then we have this one here. Probably they have another double. Probably here is the shot. Yeah. Allora cerchiamo di incastrarci sotto. Andiamo. Sì.
Dobbiamo riuscire a venire qua.
Sì, freeze.
Okay.
Velocità 6.
They might accidentally make my shot here.
They might, yeah.
You may not need to even do that. You may just need to tap and hold the
Which
shooter
double?
on an
This?
angle.
This? Yeah, but then they have a double. I like the freeze.
Yeah, I think your shot is the best shot, actually, but...
You sound surprised, like I found something for once.
Even a blind squirrel. What's
Right?
that line? No, I do think it's the best spot, though, because you can only ever kill one, and the other one's just going to jam straight into the mess of yellows and probably spill a yellow out of there. But they're going to try to freeze to shot rock here.
È forte, già lì. È forte, sì.
For the only game left in town, Chelsea. Team Kitazawa runs Team Xenia Schwaller out of rocks for the victory.
So that'll move Kitazawa to 2 and 1, I believe, and Schwaller will fall to 1 and 2.
Oh, this is perfect line for my shot if it's light. No. Too good at sweepers. It's pretty good. There is a triple. Super thin, though.
Does it touch the yellow,
Probably,
though?
yeah, there's a lot of yellows to miss, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, the triple being if you hit this rock really thin on this side and you send that one here,
Goes off
this
the back,
one
maybe?
probably jiggles, maybe comes through there, but I think a lot of the time it might end up here. And then this rock continues back this way.
With tons of
and
spin.
they both go.
I think you're playing the nose double, though, and even a little roll on top. And
Yeah, if you roll a little bit on top, I think it's pretty good.
We want to make sure that we never jam that one at the back, though, eh? We have to be really...
Sì, perché alla fine se fanno quella doppia noi rimaniamo davanti alla 1 con la 4, facciamo quello e loro magari fanno e si fanno la guardia. Io
freeze down or... Yeah.
In caso abbiamo la doppia sulla 3.
Just want to make sure.
No, perché c'è...
I like playing it this way. Yeah. Yeah, I like this way.
Looks like that's the call, just that front to back double on those 2 lined up reds, and love to roll your shooter just a little bit towards the center line side, which I think you most of the time will if you make this double.
Almost nose. You don't really want to roll there. Not too much of one.
In caso mi devo frizzare alla 1 se
Little baby
passo
roll
via.
onto the corner is great. Firm.
Danielle Inglis first skip stone. Basically a nose hit, a little wiggle, like you said, Chelsea, to the center line side. Make the double, and probably not going to lose in this end, but if this jams or she doesn't make any noise on the back one, we've got action. This has got to curl. She knows this spot, though. It does curl once it touches the line. Uh-oh.
It's not going to get there.
Devo muoverlo adesso.
Sì, o facciamo questo.
Oh, be careful. You're not going to get 2 if you do that, and she knows it's the back one.
Farsi una doppia, però ne ha sempre almeno per 2. Se la sbaglia facciamo 3.
What do you see, Chelsea? I think you got to lie 3 now.
I think you do too. My first thought was to freeze on that red, but I don't think that's going to help you any. So I think you got to sit 3 and hope she doesn't make a double.
I guess you could hit and roll on the top yellow there, make that double and lie, you know, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Roll away wide side, and then there wouldn't be any easy doubles. I might change my vote here. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah. So talking about coming down on this one, this onto here, this goes there, that goes there, and your shooter comes somewhere over here.
Towards the broom?
Backline.
Yeah. Even if it goes all the way over to the 8-foot, that would be the best.
You got to hit this yellow pretty skinny so that it doesn't come back there, but I think most of the time that would be what happens. So that's definitely an option, but
I like this too. Like a hack to board waiter. It might feather the back red, so be careful. She didn't throw this very hard. I don't think she's playing a hit here.
she set it and she pointed up right out of her hand, which would indicate in theory that it's heavy.
The jump carve is working.
It's really working.
Hard on the yellow.
Okay.
Oh.
Time.
Oh, this. Hello.
Buona, eh?
I think it's us.
Is that really good?
I think it might be.
G, pulisci il sasso.
Sì, sì, buona, buona.
Ok, io vado su e mi chiami il tiro, Vecchia.
They called a timeout already. Good, because I need to process.
Sì, uno solo.
Allora, probabilmente...
I don't see any great doubles other than the red one across the top of the back one. And if you jam it, you're going to leave her a shot for the win.
Yeah, come down this way and make this way.
She's not
Clip
tapping there
that.
like she's going to draw, is she?
Well, that was my thought. I wondered if you could draw in there.
I think you're going to hit this. They're going to end up hitting this. What color are they?
Just want to make sure we don't.
They're yellow? I think you got to hit this yellow.
Slash it.
Yeah, and it's going to kill the back one too, and you're going to go extra.
Yeah, hit this really thin into here. This probably clips that.
Yeah,
that goes there.
I think half a rock is probably fine, but a third of a rock, anything kind of high side, and you're probably not going to lose, I don't think.
There's close to no hole. Yeah, like this is really good.
Yeah, there's really
It
no
is close
hole.
to no hole, yeah, so it's hard to miss this too thin.
Yeah, there's.
Okay,
let's
I
play this
think
one.
the freeze might leave that for 3 still.
Mi fido.
Plus, if you flash it, you're just going to probably hit and roll frozen on the back one. You'll be fine.
Like that. Do you think that's minimum?
It's true.
So she just ended up light there. If that's harder, like if that yellow one goes another rock, this shot's not even there.
Yeah.
The red just jams, so very close to magical.
It would still leave her a double, but it would be a double to force the extra.
Yeah, and much harder than this, I think. This is kind of hit it high and should be okay. Cannot hit it on the nose, though. Final shot of the 8th end, because we deserve extra time. Danielle Inglis, intern, firm weight. I think a third of a rock would be kind of ideal.
Yeah, I think a third's perfect.
Might even like.
Yeah, if you could ever
Two.
tickle them both, it would probably be the best.
She likes it. Oh, there's that hole that wasn't there. There's a shot for 3. Dead, maybe?
Around the horn?
Maybe. She doesn't have any time to talk about it. I was thinking like, oh yeah, that's not there.
Oh yeah, that's
This
all,
is there.
All I see for 3 is this, but I do think it might be there.
5 seconds. Sometimes I'm right. Last shot. Here we go. We're not going extra. Needs to hit about a third of a rock.
It's a little too thick, I think.
Oh, that was close.
Really close.
Victory for Team Inglis, a big dodge, and they'll stay alive with a big victory over Team Constantini, who falls to 0-3. Thanks for joining on behalf of Home Team Live, the curling group, and Chelsea Carey, myself, Brent Lang. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back, I think both of us, at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
Who does
I
the
don't know.
scheduling?
Yeah, this guy who's doing the scheduling.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. We got lots more action coming up. We're heading towards the playoffs. Masters, WFG Masters of Curling. See you tomorrow. Thanks, folks.